gotta start a religion so I don't have to pay taxes. That's where I need to go.
You already have men worshiping you.
I have looked into what it takes to be a church, and it's really not a lot.
Do it on your OF.
Yeah.
So people have to pay the subscription fee.
Be a part of my religion.
Yeah.
And a tax write-off. Fabulous idea.
Silvia.
Yes.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. I'm so excited.
I know, it's been like fucking 5 years.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes, way.
That does not even seem fucking possible.
I'm going to Google it right now to make sure.
I'm like, there's no fucking way. 3 years, maybe. COVID took a whole gap out of our lives.
Oh, I know. It's fucking wild.
Like, I was 35 when COVID started, and I'm fucking 40 now, and that's crazy.
I know. It's like, I was still in my 30s.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Where did it all go? It's like, oh yeah, I've lived in LA for 10 years now. It's like, does not feel like it.
It does not. But
Oh yeah.
Has it really?
Oh yeah, you were on episode 78.
Oh my God. That's wild to me that's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It feels so recent.
October 25th, 2018.
That's wild.
That's when it aired. So it was definitely recorded a bit before that.
We've had to have done one since then. I swear to God.
I don't think so.
That's wild to me. Crazy.
Yeah, I feel like you were actually here before like the video. It was video.
I feel like it was though. Maybe not. I don't know.
No. I just looked. There's nothing else that was.
Wow.
So you were here in the before times where this was purely audio.
Yeah. Oh my God. Before times.
Right.
Age ourselves even more. Yeah.
Ugh.
Crazy. Try this whiskey you got here. It smells. It gives me Macallan smell vibes. You know.
Oh, it definitely doesn't have Macallan taste.
It doesn't, but it's very smooth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
No, it's a nice smooth bourbon for a very good price point. Like it's a $26 bottle.
Okay. Yeah.
94 proof.
Yeah. Wow. Damn.
Yeah. Remarkably smooth for 94 proof.
Yeah. Yeah. I could light that shit on fire. Jesus.
Yep. And I will be drinking it all night. That's why I also scheduled these for the evenings. Because it's like, oh, I could get day drunk and just waste my whole fucking day.
Yeah. Oh, and that's all that happens when I get day drunk. My day is gone. Yeah. I'm like, I can't do business? No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, I will like occasionally after a show like crawl into my room and be like, oh, I need to start editing, and then it just.
Oh, I occasionally go, I'm sober enough to make a TikTok, and then I do, and then I post it, and people are like, you're drunk, and I'm like, ooh, accurate. Too bad you can tell.
The trick is make your brand be a drunk, and no one bats an eye at that shit.
Yeah. Well, that's weird because my brand is getting high and no one ever thinks I'm high. And I'm always like, I smoke weed from the moment I wake up all day long and until I go to bed. I'm high every time you see me. That's why you don't know the difference.
Right. Well, because you just know how to maintain.
Yeah, you've never seen me sober. I can guarantee you that. I haven't been in public sober. Not like alcohol sober. I mean weed sober.
Yeah.
I haven't been in public not without weed in, I don't even know, 2 decades.
Did you get anxiety going out like not high?
Yes. Yeah. I have found that like low dose mushrooms are very helpful to me, especially in like large crowd situations. Like for the Super Bowl both years, I took mushrooms to the Super Bowl just to like be around that many people. Yeah. I definitely, large crowds anymore don't do it for me.
I really kind of wish that I had taken mushrooms for Shree's boyfriend's party. That would have been fun.
Honestly, I thought Sheree said they were there, but I think everybody took them by the time, like, cause she said, oh, you didn't have mushrooms at the party? And I was like, no. She was like, it was there.
No one fucking told me.
Yeah. I think people ate them all before, like, yeah, anybody really knew. Yeah. So somebody was having a great fucking time.
Right. So it's like, oh my God. So
I did have a great time at that party though.
Same.
Yeah.
It was an amazing party. Like, as I said to Sheree multiple times afterwards, like, perfect party, no notes.
Yeah. Yeah, no notes. Yeah. Honestly, I thought the wrestling was going to be like a little like cringy because like I cringe when I see bad comics. I cringe when I see any kind of like bad performance because I'm cringing for them more than anything and their embarrassment. It's like a second hand. But I never felt that. I was like, this is a great fucking show. I was like so impressed.
So for the audience, Silvia and I were at Sharita significant other's birthday party, and it was completely pro wrestling thing.
Yes.
They had a small ring set up, and like when I saw the ring, I thought it was just for show. Like, oh, that's fun. We'll take some photo ops in the ring. And then,
same, because we all dressed up, by the way, all of us.
Yep.
You dressed up as well, right?
No, I felt like so out of place not dressing up too, because I was just like, fuck. I don't know what to wear. I'm like, I'll be a fan.
But I thought the same thing when I saw the ring. I was like, oh, this is like for us. Like it's a part of the theme. I had no idea they were hiring like not pro, but like a semi-pro like wrestling team where they like put on a whole show for us. It was so fun.
Oh, it was an absolute blast. And then Cherie got in the ring versus Danny Daniels.
Oh my God. Totally unscripted, which you would have thought they spent days scripting because it was so flawless. But that just shows you what good friends they are and how well they play off of each other. But it was.
And how well they know each other's bodies at this point.
Yeah, that also. Yeah. I think Shri did say like Danny is the one person she's had the most sex with in all of the industry, which makes sense. Like,
it very much does. And good for her knowing the person she's had the most sex with.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else does.
I think I know my top guys that I've shot with the most, only because I was constantly booked with them. Seth Gamble and Lucas Frost. I'm constantly booked with those two men. So I've fucked them both a lot. Oh, and Nathan Bronson. Yeah, those are my top. Yeah, always booked with those guys.
Well, I mean, there's only like 15 of them anyways.
Yeah, there's not a lot of dudes. Yeah. And when I came in 10 years ago, they were also like brand new, fresh faces. So we kind of like grew up together in the porn industry. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to like, because I always told Nathan when I met him, because he was like 24 when he started. And I was like, oh, you're such a baby. Like, I can't wait to see you when you're a grown up. And now he is a grown up and he is such a sexy man. And I'm always like, you had such a good like glow up from like small, like young man, like young 20 something to like a real man, It's nice. Yeah.
Well, and that's the crazy part. Cause like with the industry, I'm sure like all those dudes came up with you, but like how many of your like, peers on the female side are no longer in the industry at this point?
That's a good point. A lot, but a lot of my good friends, because I think I kind of like turn to the really hard workers and people who had like similar work ethics and values as mine. And so most of my really good friends are still in, like, and they're at the top of their game.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Not to name drop Cherie DeVille again.
Yeah, right? But one of the number ones that I'm thinking of here. Yeah. And Alexis Fox, Reagan Fox. Like, those are the, like, women that, like, I initially kind of took to, Serene Siren. Like, so those girls are, like, what I consider, like, coming up with Ryan Keeley. Well, Ryan was in for years before me. But, yeah.
Well, and the common denominator that was, like, I think all of those women had, like, professional careers outside of the industry before they got in.
Yes. 100%. Big. I mean, I always say that I wish everybody had that opportunity. I wish to God we could raise the minimum age to 21 at the bare minimum. 25 would be my personal preference, but just raise it so people do know what it's like to work in the outside world, because I think those values come in so important when you do get into the industry, because you don't realize kind of how great we have it working in adult sometimes, like especially with running your own business, making your own hours, the money, like all of it. Like, so it's I can't imagine having all of that at a very young age. I would have squandered every last penny.
And unfortunately, we watch people do it all the fucking time. It's like, why do you have a $3,000 bag? Why?
Now, I will say I do have a very expensive car, but when people ask me why, for one, my dream car. For two, it was a tax write-off, and I needed it that year. Because like.
Well, and I'm not knocking anyone
buying
themselves nice things, but you're also well established. It's not like you're in, because you sometimes see people that are in for 6 months who are like, oh,
right,
like I got all this money for the first time in my life, and then they spend it, and then they were like, man, this isn't really for me.
Yeah, and now you're out of money, right?
Right.
Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, I hope that's not me.
No, that was me. It's on vibrate, but
as I put my phone on the floor, I'm like.
Apparently, it's on vibrate loud.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, it's I've said 1,000 times on the show. Like, there's no porno 101. There really should be.
No, but there should be. Truly and honestly, like, I know we have Pineapple Support, and they're huge at like helping people with the mental aspect, but there really does need to be a class. And when you get in here and like kind of telling you like, you know, what you're allowed to say no to everything, but that should be rule number one.
Right.
You're allowed to say no to everything. But I mean, it was different 10 years ago when I got in. I didn't feel that, you know, so.
Oh, yeah. No, the agents had as we lovingly used to say, a strong pimp hand. As
Yeah, very strong hand of what you were going to do that day, and you're just going to smile and bear it and get through it because it was what's on the script.
Yep,
you know.
yep.
So, and you could choose to do it, or they would send you home and find somebody else who would.
And then you'd be labeled as problematic.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was just a different. Yeah.
Well, and that's the beauty of the OF revolution is like the studios are like, oh, we can't fuck around as much because
the girls don't need us as much.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of, you know, I mean, obviously as a performer, I love it, you know, because I broke a lot of my own personal rules. I've said it for fucking years. I cannot stand for a man to come on my face. I think it's the most disrespectful thing in the world. I cannot stand it. I think it's gross. You ruin my makeup. You ruin my hair. Like, I just don't want anything to do with it. But I did it for years. I happily sat down on my knees and begged for a man to come on my face, you know, like, but now I'm like, never again. There will never be come on my face as far as I have anything to say about it.
As a dude, I don't even understand why that pop shot's sexy. Like,
I don't either.
Like, at the end of the day, it's like, well, if my dick is that close to your mouth, just swallow it.
Thank you. And I will take a load all day. I will eat the fuck out of some cum, but I don't need it messing up my makeup. Like, I would like to be able to go to dinner after this, you know?
Right. And like, I'm about coming on someone's tits if they're very enthusiastic about it.
And if they love it. Yeah. And some people do. Like, trust me. I have plenty of girlfriends who are like, oh, I want to bathe in it. I have girlfriends who say they don't feel like they've had sex if they're not destroyed, like if their hair isn't a mess, if their lashes aren't hanging off, like they want to be fucked up after sex. Me? Absolutely not. I am like, let's just not touch this area. And while we fuck, because I like to be pretty. I like to feel pretty. If I don't feel pretty, I don't feel sexy. So you're sure as shit not fucking me if I don't feel pretty.
Right. And nothing is more of a turnoff than someone who's like feeling self-conscious in the moment.
Yes, absolutely.
Like I've hooked up with people like, and like inside them, they're like, oh, you're thinking about some porn girl, aren't you? I'm like, this is so unsexy, right? Like right now. Like I'm erect, I'm inside you, and you're like,
well, now I'm thinking about no one.
Yeah, it's
Thank
like
you very much.
Now it's struggle bus. Like give me a second. I gotta.
Oh, that sucks though.
I'm like, girl, why are you in your? I'm like, we're here.
Yeah, people get very in their head about like competition, especially in the porn industry, when most people don't realize like it is work outside of like me having the sex for the camera. Like, these are just my friends. These are just people I hang out with. Like, I don't truly feel like I don't go hang out with Cherie and Alexis and go, oh my God, they're so pretty. I love them so much. I go, we have so much fun together. Like,
right.
You know, like it's not like I'm like luring over them all night, you know, like, no, we're just cool people. And we have sex on camera for money for you, you know?
Well, and like, at least in my own personal experience, like, I get a weird disconnect with like even thinking of like Cherie as a sexual person sometimes.
Yes.
It's like,
I hear that from men all the time who are close to porn stars.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, like I didn't see it. Like, that's filthy. Oh,
yeah.
But it's like, so are we playing D&D this week? Like,
right. No, it's very, very true. And I have good guy friends of mine in comedy who say the same thing. They're like, I can't watch your porn. They're like, I know you personally, I just don't see you in that light anymore. And I'm like, well, that's fine. But if you ever like browse across it, like take a look. Like, I'm not ashamed of it. It's out there for a reason.
At least give it a click.
Yeah. Give a click. Made me make a comment. She looks pretty, you know?
Right? She's an amazing entertainer.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But I get it. It's weird to like sexualize your friends.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's just like, these are real people. And like, and it's not like I can't be romantically involved with people in the industry.
Of course, yeah.
But it's not like, oh, that's a.
Well, and at the end of the day, like you are getting to know some of these people. And if you like their personality, for me, especially if I like your personality, then that's where my sexual interest to you will come in, you
Right.
know? So there may be times that you find somebody on set and you've like hooked up with them enough. You're like, you know what? There is kind of a little bit of a chemistry here. Like maybe we do pursue this somewhere down the line. So of course that will happen, but that could happen at any job doing anything.
100%.
You know? So
100%.
you're just spending a lot of time with these people.
Yeah, you get to know people like, oh, we have some things in common besides
Yeah.
the job.
Yeah. I dated doctors I worked for in the hospital, you know? Like it just happens.
Oh, I'm sure doctors are probably much worse in some respects than male talent.
You know, I love having sex with physicians. I feel like they're the most understanding. They zero judgment. I love that. I remember one time I was dating an ER doctor and I gave him chlamydia. But he was like not mad about it at all. We had used a condom, but he also ate me out. And so
Ooh,
he
throat
got it in the
chlamydia.
throat. Yeah.
That's the worst.
And he just thought it was funny because I called him and I was like, hey, like I got bad news. Like I just had a dirty test. You might want to check out. And obviously he's at work. So he had all the things and he calls me back and he was like, funny story. And I was like, what? He was like, well, we used a condom, so I didn't get it in my dick. He was like, but I did eat you out. He was like, so I got it in my throat. And he was like, isn't that funny? He was like, I'll take some medicine. I'll call you in a week. And I was like, yeah, cool. Like, what a great conversation of like telling someone I just gave them chlamydia. Couldn't have gone smoother.
And that's how it honestly should be with everyone.
Should be, yes.
I mean, I've told the story on here a bunch of times. Like, I was dating a girl who gave me chlamydia, and like my only upset in the whole situation is she took no ownership in the situation.
Oh yeah, I don't appreciate that.
Like, I came back dirty, and like we had stopped seeing each other at this point. I'm like, hey, probably the last time we hooked up.
Right.
I haven't fucked anyone else since,
Mm-hmm.
but I came back with a dirty test.
Mm-hmm.
You should get yourself tested. And like, she went, oh,
Deny.
you obviously got blackout drunk and fucked somebody else.
Oh God.
Like, I'm not upset about this. We were established non-monogamous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, this shit happened.
I would tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even seeing you anymore, and I know you're pissed off at me.
Yeah.
And I'm still calling you to tell you.
Right. Yeah. It should be an easy conversation. And it should be a conversation that everybody is having if it does happen. But there's so much fear behind it. Then that's why it's getting spread around everywhere, is because you have it, but then you don't want to tell your partner that you got it. So they're going to go have other partners, and they're going to go have other partners, and they're going to have other partners. And then it's a spider web.
Yeah. Just a little bit of ownership. A little bit of
ownership. Yeah. Yeah. And honesty, conversation, you know.
Yeah,
let it happen.
No one's going to accuse you like, oh, you intentionally got chlamydia, you asshole.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this obviously was an accident. It was obviously no one intentionally gave you chlamydia.
Right. Yeah. And if there is someone out there intentionally giving chlamydia, like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guilty of definitely, almost certainly giving someone negligently chlamydia.
Oh, for sure. 110%. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I just told the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before I got tested, after I hooked up with a girl, I hooked up with somebody else, and like,
oh.
yeah.
Mm.
Like I was already symptomatic, but like it wasn't like a pain. Like I thought I was being a dumb dude, and I just thought I had a UTI because like I didn't have any painful discharge or anything. Like that. I was just peeing a lot. I'm just like, oh, I got a urinary tract. I was just pounding
UTI or something, yeah.
Yeah, I was just pounding cranberry juice. Oh, this will clear up. I'll be good.
I'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Went to Spain, hooked up with someone in Spain.
Oh, yikes.
Condom broke.
Oh, yikes.
And got back to the States. I was still pissing. I'm like, I need to see a doctor. Went to the clinic, pissed in the cup, and they looked at my urine sample like, here's antibiotics. Like, oh, that's not a good sign.
No, not a good sign. Oh, damn.
Yeah, like, but the one thing I feel okay about is she was a horrible person. So,
oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, she got what was coming to her then. So there's that.
I mean, honestly, I only, had no way of contacting her. I had to contact the groom of the wedding I was at to like reach out.
Oh, no.
Sorry to the audience who heard this story, but
Oh, God.
like, can you tell her? Like, I don't even really care if she knows as much as I don't want some other dude who falls in to like, pay for my mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. Ouch.
And this girl, like, the first time my buddy saw her, like, after, was like, I didn't fuck your friend in Spain. Like,
Okay.
Such a shit show. That's the kind of horrible person this person was.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck them.
We've all had some hookups like that where it's just like, oh God, why am I doing this?
Yeah, 110%. Mostly in my 20s. Yeah, I was just blindly drunk. I think all of my 20s and using a lot of narcotics. So yeah, I fucked a lot of last people in the room on plenty of occasions. Last man standing.
Do any of them in particular stand out as like a particularly tragic one?
Yes. And no, not particularly tragic, but does stand out in another way. So me and this man, we were neighbors for years. So I lived in this tiny little 1-bedroom apartment. This is in Kansas City, Missouri. And it was a group of construction workers. There was 5 dudes who lived in a 2-bedroom across the hall from me because they were building a Walmart in town. So they were in town from Arkansas. Yeah, they're from Arkansas.
Oh.
In town from Arkansas. And, for the summer, building this Walmart or whatever. And so we would see each other every day. And I'm a cute little girl in my 20s. And, these construction workers fuck and love me. So I'm smoking weed with them every day. And this one guy in particular is closer to my age. So he and I hang out pretty much every day when he gets home from work. We always smoke blunts together and hang out. But I've never kissed the guy. I wasn't attracted to him like at all. Like I just saw him as a good friend. But such a good friend that when they were done building the Walmart and he had moved back to Arkansas, he was like, hey, come down for a weekend. Like, let's chill. I'll show you my town. I was like, cool, let's do it. Like, we're good friends at this point. I see him every day for months, right? And so I go down to Arkansas and we get a hotel room together, but we have separate beds. And I think it was the first or second night, and we just got blackout drunk. And I was laying in my bed, and he's laying in his bed, and I was so horny. And I was like, man, I want to masturbate so bad, but I can't because he's here. And so I just it's pitch black, and I just go, hey, are you awake? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm really horny. I said, how do you feel about sex, no strings attached? And he fucking jumped up out of that bed, there was no hesitation. It was like, this is the moment he had been waiting for his entire life, like jumped up. It was the best sex I had ever had. This man pulled out all the stops, throwing me up against the wall. It was like all out fucking warfare. Like this was like it was his every day he had thought about this, and now he was like fulfilling this fantasy. And I just remember being like blown away to the point where the next morning I was like, can we do that again? Like, where did that come from? That was fucking amazing. We were friends for a little while after that. And I think we still follow each other on like Instagram and Facebook. And it's literally been like 15 years, but shout out to George Allen Turner.
Did you go for some more repeat business after that, or
no? Just so I fucked him that night, and then the next morning we fucked, and then like never again. But yeah,
I'm sure he's telling his friends like,
"Oh, I'm sure."
Sees you on top like before she was famous.
Yeah, yeah. She lived right across the hall from me. We smoked weed every day. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
just
moment.
It was like Rudy at Notre Dame for him. It was
yeah.
It's like, oh, I finally get to get off the bench and play. Oh, yeah. Shit.
I've never seen somebody get out of a bed faster. It was so impressive. He was like out of bed, naked and hard within like 3 seconds. I was like, yes.
Some Dragon Ball Z shit. He just teleported into your bed.
Yeah.
It's like, goddamn, dude.
Yeah. I was like, never speak of this again. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that, but no.
Well, then you're violating the circle of trust, talking about it on a podcast.
Yeah, no, I think he does have a girlfriend now. Cause like I said, we do still follow each other. I bought a painting from him probably like a year ago. So yeah.
Well, if his girlfriend's upset about you fucking him 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's a different story. Yeah. Yeah.
You should leave her, dude. If she's upset that you've had previous partners, you should leave her.
True.
Like, that shit's always mind-boggling.
Yeah.
People get
upset about an ex. Yeah. I get it. Like, I don't like people comparing me to their ex. And I recently did that to somebody, and he was like, I'm not your ex. And I was like, oh, right. But I wasn't saying it in that way. I was just like, look, I've had a true love. Like, I've had what I think to be could have been the love of my life. And I still think to this day that, if neither one of us ever marry, which is looking like we won't, when we're old and decrepit and we've got, we just come back to each other. I still talk to this man. I still love him. But because he treated me so well in our relationship, and why I let everyone always like, well, why'd you leave? Long story.
That was about to be my fucking question.
Yeah. But because he was so good to me, because he treated me so well, because we knew how to communicate, it was the little things. Because people were like, well, what did it mean he treated you so well? And the example I give is like, we lived out in the middle of the country. I lived in Kansas City, Missouri. So we have real winters there. If it would ever snow, he would wake up early, shovel a fucking path to my car down our gravel road. He would have my car scraped off. It would be started and warmed up for me. Just like little thoughtful things, like he would always have snacks in the car for me for if I got hangry, and like I have a very quick temper, and instead of like getting quick tempered back with me, he would give me a second to cool down, and then we'd rationally talk about things. So it was just like such a good relationship, and he treated me like such a princess that I just can't settle for anything less. So anytime that like a man isn't up to par and I'm like, okay, would you even start my car for me? Like I just put everyone, they need to be a certain level. And he's like, I'm not your ex. And I was like, yeah, you're not. That's why you're fucking gone. I'm just kidding.
I see the comment section now being like, that dude's a simp. Like, fuck you. No. That, oh my God, treating your partner with fucking respect and doing acts of kindness for them doesn't make you a fucking simp.
Also, I did so many acts of kindness for him. So I went to college and worked a full-time job when he were together. And I love to clean house. So I always clean the house, and I hate cooking, but I always cooked him dinner. Like I always had his laundry done and folded. Like I was definitely acts of service as well. We were acts of service towards each other. So it was very equal.
Just
I know.
You know the internet.
I do.
It's just like you treat a woman as like a human being or do anything remotely kind for you're a fucking like.
Yeah. And now people are gonna ask, why'd you leave this perfect man then? Okay. So first off, we met when I was 20 and we split when I was 24. Very babies at the time. We kind of grew up together and we bought our first house together.
Was he the same age?
He was 2 years older than me.
Okay, effectively the same age.
Effectively, yeah. So we bought our first house together. He started his like a second company with me. Like we kind of like went through all this together. I was in college when I was with him, like all of this. But we also kind of grew apart. I had different dreams. I'm like a city girl, like I love getting dressed up. I love wearing heels, and not that there's anything wrong with it because I love this man to bits and pieces, but he's a country boy. We lived out in the country. We had 20 acres. Like he ran a fucking wood business, like everything about our lives was super ultra country. And I didn't want that lifestyle. I wanted a more like active lifestyle. And we just had different dreams of what life was going to be. And we just kind of effectively grew apart. Doesn't mean that I don't still hold him with the utmost respect and vice versa,
100%. And that's the thing. It's just like, if one of you had compromised for the other one of you may have grown to resent the other one.
10%. And that's why I always say when we're done, like living our lives, maybe we do find each other again, because I won't always want to be 1,000 miles an hour living in Hollywood, or maybe I will, I don't know. But like maybe one day I want to kind of settle back down for a simple life.
Maybe he'll decide that you're worth city life.
Oh, no, he won't.
You never know.
It's so funny because like I said, we're still friends. I probably talk to him every other month. We were very communicative still. And he drives an over-the-road truck now. And so he is in California every once in a while. And he's just like, I fucking hate it there. He's like, I just cannot. And I'm like, I get it, especially in a semi. Like,
oh, yeah. You two ever hook up for old time's sake?
Absolutely not. We haven't. And, 15, we've been separated for 16 years. Yeah, no. I know. So crazy.
Don't just hop in the truck and...
Yeah, no. What's funny is he travels with Dobermans, and they are trained to attack anyone near the truck. So if I were to even come to the truck, they would attack to kill. So.
Well, don't die.
Yeah.
No dick is worth dying over.
Yeah.
But and people just have to accept that. Like, you shouldn't make compromises that are going to make you miserable.
Not like that.
Yeah.
And we both kind of knew it, and it's funny is, I never married and he's never married. He has been with someone for a significant amount of time. And I always joke with him. I'm like, are you going to marry her? And he was like, I don't think so. Okay. I'm sure she loves that.
Does she know that? Like,
I think he's a very, very honest man. So I think so. I think he's just like, hey, I'm not the marrying kind, And I don't think I am either. So
You don't want the tax breaks?
nah, you know what? I get enough tax breaks.
Are there ever enough tax breaks? Are there ever enough?
No, I'm who am I kidding? Tax breaks. I pay into taxes every year like a fucking, idiot.
Not rich enough yet.
I know.
You got to get ultra wealthy so you stop paying into that shit.
No, I gotta get to that 1%, man. I don't know how you get there.
By being a horrible person in most cases.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looking at Hollywood right now, it sounds like I gotta like be a fucking pedophile to get there, and I'm not willing to take that route. So
It's probably
I'll stick in my tax bracket.
probably a wise move on your part.
Right.
It's like, just pedophile or some other type of predator.
I really do feel like, okay, now I always thought it was like, kind of bullshit that they're like, oh, like if you get selected into the secret club, like what's it called with the third thing that everybody's always talking about? Illuminati.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're like, if you get an Illuminati, like you have to sacrifice some member of your family or like all these things to like sell into it. I'm like, it might not be wrong. Like you might have to like molest one kid and like give up one member of your family. Like that might be the buy-in. Like I have no idea. Hollywood's looking pretty fucked up right now.
Well, they're just like, well, you got to do this so we have something on you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah, it's just like, is fame really worth it?
I know. Although I have thought about what 3 family members I would pick because in my head, I think you have to pick either like one, either being someone in your immediate family, like mom, dad, brother, like primary family, or I think if you don't pick one of those primary important people to you, and they're going to know who's important. Like if you don't have a good relationship with your mom, they're going to know that and they're going to be like, nope, can't be your mom. Like you're going to have to pick like really important people to you. I think you have to pick one of those people, or you can molest a child and pick other family members to go.
This sounds like a lot of work to like fake
I don't know. This is my own conspiracy theory I've come up with.
I'm just saying it sounds like a lot of work to like fake a better relationship with my parents so I don't have to molest a kid.
Yeah, right?
Like, why has Matt been calling all of a sudden? Don't worry, Mom. I'm going to be famous.
I love you very much. Remember that.
I love you a lot. I love you so much. What's fucked up is my mom actually does listen to this, so sorry, Mom.
See you on the other side, Mom.
You've had a good run. Oh, that's going to bite me in the ass. I'm going to get a call about that one. They're jokes, Mom. They're jokes.
They're jokes. We're not
jokes.
molesting any children or giving up any family members for fame.
Well, definitely giving up family members before molesting children.
Oh, 110%. Oh my God.
Okay, that's probably the worst joke I've ever told on this show.
That was pretty bad. But also really great. What a great timing also. That was incredible. Oh my God. My thought on that.
You have thoughts on that? Oh God.
No. On the oh God, I don't even know if I can comment any further.
We're just getting canceled tonight.
Well, my thought was your family members are going to have to die eventually. I'm just making it happen a little sooner, which is why I would pick a family member that's like kind of struggling in life a little bit. I'm like, you know what? Let me just put you to your next one. Come back next time, have better success.
Well, at the end of the day, in the state of geologic time and the age of the earth, your lifespan's such a blink.
Yeah.
What's a couple more years off of it?
Yeah, well, I'll see you in the next life. when I get up to the gates and they're like, that you fucked up. And I'm like, yeah, I figured as much. I figured that was a bad move.
Like when you make it to the gates, like, so you sacrificed your mother for material success.
Yeah.
Was your sitcom really worth it?
Yeah. Well, we ran for 10 seasons. So yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
I lived really comfortably. I had multiple homes. Yeah, it was worth it.
Maybe if I could buy a jet. A jet's pretty cool. Although, you know what? I say that I want a jet, but I really don't because I love flying first class. I love the conversations with other people in first class. But if you were on your own private jet, who are you talking to?
Well, and also, statistically, you're much more likely to die in a private jet.
Oh.
They have a much higher rate of accidents than commercial airliners.
Oh, okay. Though that makes sense for like Aaliyah, you know?
Rest in peace, Aaliyah. I mean, that's one way to escape R. Kelly, but...
Right. Good point. Good point. Do you think she was awake when her plane died? Because I heard rumors that like she had such a fear of flying that they would like put her under to fly. Did you ever hear that?
She'd do it with Mr. T from the A-Team.
What?
You're old enough to remember the
I
A-Team.
do remember the A-Team, but I'm like, was she fucking the black guy?
No. Mr. T's character was afraid of flying, so they'd always drug him to get him on planes.
Oh, well, yeah. That I don't know if that's totally made up or what, but I definitely read a story that said like she was so scared of planes, and for whatever reason that like that night like the weather was bad and she's like, I really don't want to do this, and they're like, you'll be fine, and they gave her some drugs, and obviously not fine, but
I mean, if you, I mean, we all have to go at some point. I mean, ideally, I would rather go fucking in my sleep or fast.
yeah.
Like the idea of lying in a bed and withering away, like,
Oh, the worst.
or like you're 10,000 feet up or 20,000 feet up, and like, oh, the plane's engine is stalling, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, cool, I get to experience the last couple minutes of fucking absolute terror as we go down.
Knowing you're about to die, like totally the whole. Yeah, at least it's only a few seconds, and then it's probably a fiery crash, so it's probably pretty instant.
Yeah, but depending on how fast you're coming down, like, have you ever gone skydiving?
No, I would never. Also,
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
No, you can't convince me. But okay,
I've only done it once. I had a blast. I was also a horrible human being and put my very recent ex at the time on all my contact paperwork if I died. I legitimately did that.
Just didn't let her know.
Yeah, it's like if I die here, she's gonna be the emergency contact. Yeah.
She's like, fuck him.
But it, as like when you're parachuting from like the skydiving heights.
How many seconds?
It's a full minute of free fall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like if you're at cruising altitude, yeah, you may have a couple, because I'm assuming planes are aerodynamic. They're not just falling like a rock.
Yeah.
You probably have pilots trying to recover, and so you probably have a good couple minutes of absolute fucking terror.
God. Oh my God. No way. That's not how I want to go. I have my top 3 ways I would like to die. Would you like to hear them?
Oh, of course. Okay. No, don't tease me like that. Fucking edging me with your death porn. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so number 1, I would like to go like John Lennon style, like one single gunshot to the back of the head without warning.
I thought Lennon caught it in the fucking kidney.
I thought he had got shot in the head. But either way, a bullet from a fan without warning. Like I don't want to know the bullet's coming. I just want to, like, or Selena. I don't know if Selena was point blank or how.
Yeah, it was pretty close. I mean, like, she was killed by a trusted fucking.
Right, yeah. But also a fan. I'm like the leader of her fan club, right?
Yeah. Like.
So that's way number 1. Just one quick bullet, end it all very quickly. I don't want to lie in the street bleeding, so let's not do that.
Right. Have good aim, people.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 would be to be I hate saying this when it's going to be recorded, but it's the truth. I would like to be raped and then murdered, and not like a mean like sodomizing, but like a good just a good fucking right before you end it. Just like maybe even let me get off.
Why not just rough sex that goes awry?
Yeah, maybe it could be that too. Yeah.
Have it be consensual on your way out.
But I would like it to be like sex and then death,
Okay.
like instant, okay? Or 3rd, and this is because we live in Los Angeles. We all know that the big earthquake / tsunami is inevitable, right? So I would just like to be taken out with the earthquake. I would just like a big piece of concrete to crush me, because I don't want to be a part of the tsunami. I don't want to be involved in like the swishing around, like wondering if I'm going to be impaled by a fucking light post,
Don't live on the west side then.
I do. I live in Santa Monica.
Well, that's your problem. I am safe from the tsunami here in Hollywood.
You are safe from the tsunami.
So, by the way, Lennon was shot at 10:50 p.m. and didn't die wasn't pronounced dead till 11:15.
Oh, see, I don't want that.
He caught 5 rounds in the back.
5 rounds? Why did I think it was a shot to the head?
No, it's 5 rounds in the back, and he was pronounced dead
in the back, so that's good. Yeah,
but still pronounced dead 25 minutes later.
Yills. I wonder if that's so. Like he probably died pretty instantly, and they probably took a while to like get there and pronounce him actually dead, right?
Maybe, but still, like I feel like even with your organs shut down, you got a little time there. It's not like just a fucking. Yeah. It may be a matter of seconds, but it's still like it's not just like.
Yeah,
gone.
Lights out. That's what I want. I want lights out.
Yeah, no, that's definitely on my like. If I gotta go like prematurely, that is definitely on the, like,
Yeah.
getting
quickly.
popped.
Yeah. Yeah. No one wants to be tortured, any of that. I don't want that.
No.
That sounds awful.
Like, if I'm, for whatever reason, ever captured by the fucking cartel or some shit,
Oh,
I'm going to
God.
make a run for it to make them murder me.
Well, I would just tell them everything they want to know, honestly.
Well, I mean, yes, that's plan A.
Yeah.
When they find out that I have no money for ransom or anything and I'm really kind of worthless as an American,
Yeah.
it's like, can we make a deal? We can't make a deal.
Yeah.
Okay, just fucking, I'm not going to let you.
Shoot me in the back.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you put me in a barrel and fucking.
Yeah. Oh, God. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Like, at the point where they're dragging you towards the barrel, I don't understand why you don't just make a fucking run for it.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
You have to lose.
Yeah, you have nothing to lose at that
Yeah.
point.
Oh, my God. I can't even imagine. Like the mob shit when they're like chopping off fingers and shit. I'm like, oh, my God. I can't even imagine.
Well, yeah, but at that point, they got you pretty compromised and there's not much you could fucking do about it at that point.
Yeah. Oh, God. I don't ever want to be involved with people like that.
Well, you may want to leave the. No, I'm kidding. It's not an outlaw industry anymore, people.
It's not anymore. Yeah. It might have been.
Oh, in the 70s, it definitely was.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't around for it then. It was a little sketch when I got in, but quickly turned around. And maybe too because I had a real sketch agent, Derek. Derek.
Okay.
Yeah, Derek Hay. Fucking nightmare. So I will bash his name all over the internet. No fucks. Yeah. So because it was like extra skis, with him, like again, I never felt I could say no to anything for so many years. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
yeah.
But the industry is like, I've been around actually a little bit longer than you have in this fucking thing. And like, I never felt like it was purely criminal. There were definitely criminals in the industry, but it wasn't like, this is a criminal operation.
Oh, no. Definitely not. And I never even felt that from the beginning,
No, I never did.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some like skeezy people, but that's what I'm saying. Any industry has those skeezy.
Well, and we're also a very forgiving industry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been awesome that like in the last couple of weeks in Portland, there have been 2 male talents that have been called out for faking tests.
Have there?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about that.
Oh, we are right now.
Like, can I know who?
I'd have to look it up.
That.
I believe they're both mostly OF creators.
Okay.
But like still faking fucking tests.
Yeah.
And the major testing industry.
Why even do that? What is the fucking point though? Are you that broke? You can't afford a $250 fucking test? Like, that's crazy to me.
Oh, it's absolutely nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It's like, it's $250 you could write off on your taxes.
Yeah, 100%.
You could put it on a credit card. It's not like TTS is like, you have to pay in cash.
Right, yeah. That's crazy.
Like,
and faking tests just to go shoot with more people. Like, it's so gross to me. So gross.
It is. But it's amazing that, like, PASS and TTS are like, we're banning people for life for this shit now.
Yeah, good.
10 years ago, that was not the case.
Yeah.
There are a couple, famous cases of people faking tests, and some of them are still around.
I honestly believe it should be a forever ban also, because obviously you don't care about other people's health if you're doing that.
Yeah.
Like it's put there for safety reasons, and it's to protect everybody.
Right. It's to protect the pool.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like,
we're already such a high risk industry. Do not bring more risk into it. And obviously you don't respect the people who are in it. So
100%. Like, well, and that's the one downside of the OF like revolution is like, there's dudes who are
creators.
Yeah, there's dudes that are just like, oh, I have a ring light and an iPhone. I can do porn. And they don't have to go through the rigors of like going on a real set. Like,
they've never been on a real set.
Right. And when you and I both started, like, there was no outlets except for being on set. That's part of the reason I never wanted to be male talent. Like, I'm very confident I would fail on a set. I've been on enough sets.
There's just so much going on.
Yeah. I'm very confident I would fail on a set. Now, me, another person, and a camera, I might be able to perform.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's a totally different situation.
Right.
You don't even realize the camera's in the fucking room. It's set up on a goddamn tripod. Now, put 6 to 8 strangers in the room telling you how to fuck, making you open up for camera, giving you a storyline to follow, having you there for hours all day, going up and down, taking photos, doing different things. Like, a whole nother ball game.
And all of them want to go home.
Yeah.
Every last one of them is just like.
It's funny, recently I said to somebody that I did porn and they go, oh, you do OnlyFans? I was like, no. I was like, I mean, yes, I do OnlyFans and it is my main source of income. But also, I'm a porn actress. There's a fucking difference.
I know. And I see it in the comments section now. Like, you know, the majority, like I do have some people that are strictly creators on the show. But
right.
The majority of the people who do the show are legitimate talent. Mm-hmm. And I get people in the comment section like, oh, she has an LF, move on. And like,
dog. We all have OFs now.
But dog, that is not what she is famous for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like, she is not an OF girl.
Yeah.
She is having another revenue stream to her porn career.
Yeah. And what's crazy is just the OF girls are making a ton more money than the porn girls are on OF, by the way. Like, because we are saturated all over the internet. These girls, the only place you can see them naked is on OnlyFans TV. So they murder it in OnlyFans.
Well, yeah, once they break through that ceiling of being able to market themselves, because
yeah, that's true.
I mean, as a fellow podcaster, I'm sure you feel the pain of like marketing the podcast.
God, yeah.
I compare OF and podcasting quite a bit because it's like it's a very saturated field.
Yep.
And how do you stand out through the noise? Because it's not
100%.
like OF doesn't do a great job of discoverability. Unless you're a top creator already, they're not really pushing you. Same with podcasts.
That is what's nice about already coming in as an adult film actress into OnlyFans when we started it 8 years ago is because, I mean, obviously I already had a name, I had a following. So it was nice just to be like, oh, go follow me here. Instant fan base. You know, that was nice and built in. I didn't have to build it the same way a lot of these OnlyFans girls had to build it. So honestly, like, kudos and much respect. But yeah, you're right. It's not the same. You're not a real porn actress. You are doing porn. That's fine. But until you have worked for the companies and shot real porn, I do not consider you a porn actor.
Yeah, well, it's like the difference between being a YouTuber and like doing television.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
Like you're totally doing the thing. In a lot of cases, you're doing more work.
Yeah, absolutely. As a performer on a set, I show up, get my makeup done, have some sex, eat some food, go home. Right. You know, as a creator, I'm booking the space, I'm booking the talent, I'm booking the camera, doing the editing, you know, like selling it myself, like all of those things. But I also reap the benefits for years and years and years after I've made that one video, as opposed to when I go and shoot for a company, I reap the benefits that day and then never again.
So what do you think about some people pushing for like residuals?
Royalties?
Yeah.
I would love it. I think it's the best move because we are the star. We're why they're making money. I don't even care if I make 10 cents for, you know, a view or whatever. Like just something. Give me something for these people clicking my name over and over and over and over again.
See, I'm of two minds of it. Like in an ideal world, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
The practical realities of it is like
how they pay everybody.
How they pay everybody. The fact that like,
well, TV does it. Like,
yeah, but,
you know, with commercials, they're paying royalties for however long that commercial airs.
They are, but also in a lot of cases, they're forming a separate LLC for that production. And then, because as part of those standard contracts, you're allowed to audit the books to make sure you're being paid properly. Do you think Vixen's going to open up their books to you?
Right.
Do you think most porn productions are going to spend the time, effort, and money to, form an LLC for each production?
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
And then being like, okay, yeah. Dirty Debutantes 25 LLC.
Right.
Open up the books. Yeah, here's what you're owed. Here's how much we've made from it. It's just not how the business is structured.
Yeah.
And it's like in an ideal world, yes, everyone should be paid royalties.
And it's the same way with like if you're trying to collab with somebody in OnlyFans, it's kind of the same way. Like you both have to just go like, look, I'm going to take my copy of the video from my camera, you take it from your camera, and we're going to post separate things because like I can't go, oh, I'm going to split what I make from this video with you. Like, that would be ridiculous, Like,
could you imagine? It's hard enough to track someone down for the footage. Could you imagine being like, hey, can I get your copy of your books from your earnings? Can I get your earning statements from OF to make sure I got my proper cut?
Yeah, for that one video we made that one time. Yeah, there's no way. Cherie and I had talked about, because we created a game show together, and we did talk about how we were going to split that revenue, and we thought, it's just going to have its own page, and we're just going to have to 50-50 it,
Well, for something that's ongoing like that, it makes sense for you guys to form an LLC together.
Right.
Have its own page. And And then it's real easy to do the books. But like if you had it on both your pages and then like
trying to ration it out, like
and you two are friends, so like there's not going to be like the fear of showing you the fucking books or like
right
versus there's sometimes some shady shit in porn and like
we just had a thing the other day because we had the song that we did for the game show had just gotten finished and the guy sent it back over to us and he was like, oh, I didn't realize that you guys had only paid half. And I had paid the first half and she was going to pay the second half. Well, she had forgotten that. So she paid half of the half and she was like, oh, you owe the other half. And I was like, I don't though, because I paid the first half of that. And she was like, oh, right. I totally forgot. And I'm like, oof, okay. I don't want to like have any moments with my friends where they think like I'm like trying to like take advantage of them, but we can go back. I did pay the first half of that.
She is honestly like, I don't know why we're just name dropping Sheree half this episode.
I know, right? Yeah.
She is the last person I would ever worry about that. Like,
oh, I know.
Like, one of the, I worked on Comic Cougar as we were talking about before I got on here. And like one of the days, her and I showed up on set. Jeff unfortunately injured himself and like ended up in the ER.
Oh, geez.
And like we didn't find out about it until we were both actually on set already.
No.
And she just Venmoed me a kill fee. She's just like, here's your day rate. Go.
Oh, she's so sweet.
She's absolutely sweet. And like I wasn't expecting it. And I was like, thank you. And then we go forward to like the next recording. And it was like a little discussion of like, well, you got paid for the last one. I'm like, yeah, I did. I'm like, these are my friends. I'm not gonna really push it. And Sheree's like, no. That was your kill fee. We're gonna pay you your day rates.
Yeah.
Like she's the one who like
you showed up both days, you get your pay.
Right.
Yeah.
But she was the one adamantly fighting for that. And I was like, if I had sucked up that second day for like what I got paid for these are my friends. Like I'm already doing this at a friend rate. I'm not looking to fuck my friends. But she was adamant and fucking fought for that I got paid both days. And I'm just like, you're the fucking best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because very few people in this industry, friends or not, would do that shit like that.
No, agreed. Not anywhere near the same scenario, but Jackie St. James, I was shooting for her this is years ago, and it was a scene with Small Hands and we did the full sex scene. And afterwards, we found out that one of the cameramen didn't hit record.
Oh, God.
And so we had to redo the whole sex scene. And Small Hands and I were fine with it. Like, I didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit. He and I are good friends. We get along on,
Oh, no, you had to beg Small Hands again.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm totally fine with it. Like, no worries, Jackie, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, no, I'm paying you double. She's like, you're getting a double rate for this day, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Jackie's not that big of a deal. And she was the same way. She was like, absolutely not. You're doing 2 sex scenes today. You're getting paid for 2 sex scenes. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to fight you, but I'll also fuck him again for free. So whatever we got to do here.
Such a hard knock life sometimes.
I know.
You're like, hey, camera guy, did you forget it again?
Yeah.
I can go for thirds.
Right? Did you run out of room on that camera? I'm sure you did.
Oh, he didn't have an SD card in this time.
Right.
Poor Small Hands is dehydrated. Like,
right.
What?
Yeah, we were both okay with it. Yeah.
And that's good on you because, like, I'm sure you've also experienced in this industry people trying to nickel and dime you on shit.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It fucking happens sometimes. It's like, really?
Well, and, we all have one person that we work for a little less money because he gets us in and out very quickly. So.
Well, yeah, but your dollars per hour are good there.
Yeah. For sure. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've all had the 16-hour days, too.
It's
like,
oh, yeah. Oh, my God. The worst. It's funny because people don't think that. They're like, oh, porn is so easy. I'm like, okay, have you ever been on set for 16, 18 hours to make a fucking 30-minute movie?
Oh, years ago, I was PAing for a feature. I was the first one on set. I was the last one off set. And my day rate was $200.
Oh, my God.
I added it up. I made under minimum wage that day.
Oh, my God. No.
I'm just like, we need to discuss this next time I fucking PA for you because like if I could make more money flipping burgers and also I did cook for the crew, so I actually did flip burgers. I actually did flip fucking burgers. It's like
no.
This no,
That's ridiculous, honestly.
like, and it's like normally I wouldn't mind peeing for that rate because
Right. For a couple hours.
right,
Right. Absolutely. But an all day event where you
yeah,
can do nothing else either. It's not like you could like edit some things while you're there, you know? All your time is like being whatever they need you to be.
exactly.
You know? So yeah, absolutely not.
It's just like, oh, this is not all glamorous, folks.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Yeah.
And like that's why like some of the directors I work for, like I would even do work for some of them for a lesser rate because I know they'll get me out so fucking quickly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like when I'm thinking Quasar in particular, I loved working for Quasar because I'm like, it was a lower rate, but also I'm in and out in 3 hours, you know, like I can go shoot a movie and go have the rest of my day.
The funny thing is that long one was Quasar, but was
Oh no.
working for someone else. He was
Okay.
just shooting it.
Yeah, that wasn't him. Cause normally he's like, let's get out of here. I want to get home and drink.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100% Quasar was shooting it and doing like the technical work. Someone else is directing.
Yeah.
Who I'm not going to throw under the bus at this moment, but
Mhm.
it was just like, fuck me, man. Can
Yeah.
we? But like, I'm sure you've shot for Marcos Rivera, like for MindGeek.
I don't know that I've ever shot for Mark. I'm sure I have. Yeah. I just probably don't even remember.
He
because
used to
I've
be
done
their
a
stills
bajillion scenes.
photographer in Vegas, and then
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure I have then. Absolutely.
and then he took over his own crew for a while, and I was PAing for him for a minute. And it's just like every fucking day. By the time we were ordering lunch, we were wrapping every day. Like it
I
was.
love that.
I'm just like, yeah, I'll drive in from LA for this. I don't care.
Nothing better than like a few hours in and you're like, oh, and food's here and we're done?
Yeah.
Great.
Like everyone's doing their exit interviews over lunch. It was
amazing.
every fucking day. I was just like, yeah, man, I have zero problems driving in from LA for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you probably got a couple of shoots a day like that.
They weren't booking him that heavy, but
Okay.
we would have a couple shoots a week. So like I'd roll out to Vegas, spend like 3 or 4 days in Vegas, and then roll back.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's just like, yeah, I'm happy to bum out here for 3 or 4 days.
You prefer to drive to Vegas and fly?
So for that, because I was often bringing gear with me and shit like that, like it's like I gotta drive.
I love that drive. Not okay. Love is a very strong word. I enjoy the drive. For one, I use it for time to call my family. I catch up with my family on that drive. I sing music really loud in my car and just have a little bit of alone time. And I truly like, I don't have to be on my phone like or do anything. And I mean, I'm on my phone, but not like physically
Right, like-
on my phone. You know.
You're not interacting with the fan base.
Right, exactly. And it's just nice. I don't mind it at all. The flight for me is like, go to the airport, like go through security, wait to board the plane, and it's a 45-minute thing there. And then you got to get your luggage, and then you got to get a car, and then you don't have a vehicle while you're there. I'm like, what a nightmare for a 4-hour drive. I might as well get in the fucking car.
And it almost equals out to being the same
It's the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I have a car in Vegas, you know?
Exactly. And the only thing for me was like I have a Tesla now, so it's like adding the charging time. Yeah, because
you can't do a full trip to Vegas on one.
So I've only done it once. It was for AVN 23, and
don't you have a gas backup?
No,
you don't at all.
It's all electric.
Oh,
and in theory, if I don't drive like an asshole, I probably could make it to Vegas on a charge.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I drive like an asshole on the 15.
Okay,
because everyone does.
So now here's my stupidity. Playing it for you. So it doesn't like you have to plug it in. It doesn't have any kind of solar.
Nah, you gotta plug it in.
Got it.
So in theory, like my cruising range is about 270 miles. Like in theory, I should make it to about Vegas on a full charge. I was driving like an asshole and like just fucking gunning it, and I had to stop in fucking Yermo, which is 150 miles out.
Oh God.
And I stopped for 45 minutes to fucking charge. Because normally, like in a gas powered car, I'll make the drive without stopping.
I have done it without stopping for sure. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't prefer it, but
I used to live in Vegas, so I was coming out here for work all the time, and like I can do that drive without stopping.
Yeah.
Like, all the time. Like
I like to one piece stop along the way, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I can do it. Like it's zero problems. Like just so like stopping in Yermo for 45 minutes is just like
what do you do with yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like got up, got some coffee, like especially because when I drove in for AVN, I was just like, oh, I left here at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I left here because I'm like, I'm not getting stuck in traffic going to Vegas.
Oh, it's the worst. Yeah, that is suck.
because it was I rolled in for Thursday for 23. So like I left
Mhm.
ass early, got to Vegas at like 10 a.m., fucking checked in, got my badge, started podcasting, started drinking,
Smart.
and then
Started drinking.
sobered up, fucking had to charge the car again.
Ugh.
Took a power nap in the car charging it, made to Yermo again to charge again.
Oh my God.
Knocked out again for an hour while it charged, and then drove back to LA.
But that's a good idea. Napping on the charge. That's smart. I like that.
Yeah, but it's just like the idea of adding like fucking an hour plus each way.
Yeah, that's so true. That would really suck. Have you ever run out of a charge?
No, thankfully.
Okay. Does it give you like a good window of heads up time?
Sort of.
What do you mean by that? Do you have a gauge like a gas tank?
Yeah, there's a gauge.
You have a charge tank, right?
Yeah, there's a gauge, but the problem is it's not really accurate
Oh shit.
because everything uses power. So like your stereo, your air conditioning, everything uses power. So like you can set it to miles, but will watch like especially if you're blasting the air and driving like fast.
Yeah.
And the car's fast, so you want to drive it fast.
Yeah.
You'll just watch miles fucking fast. Like
Damn.
as I said, like fully charged, the cruising range is about 270 miles.
Yeah.
And I had to stop 150 miles outside of Vegas to charge because under 10%.
Damn.
The nice thing is, if you map it in the Tesla like app, it will tell you when you have to stop and charge. It'll route you to fucking chargers.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So it's just like, hey, asshole, you're going to have to pull over soon.
Yeah. And I mean, I do see charging stations everywhere.
They are.
So.
And I was supposed to drive to Vegas like 2 weekends ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided not to because it was raining. And I'm like, this is going to... And I'm really happy I didn't. I'm bummed I didn't because I was actually going out there to see Big J. Okerson play at Wise Guys.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it was raining and it's just like, I'm glad I didn't because apparently it was 3 hours from Baker to Vegas. Like it froze over in the pass and it just...
Nightmare situation.
I'm like, yeah, I'd love to see Big J like in a decent sized room, but I'm also not willing to drive 9 hours for it.
Nope. The worst time I ever did was 6 hours. And that was like, I'm pretty sure there was like an accident that shut things down for a while. But yeah.
That is always the fear. Like if there's any adverse road conditions between here and Vegas, I just don't want to do the drive because like
it's a 2-lane road most of the way. So
and no exits.
No, yeah, you are fixed. Once you're on it, you're on it.
Yeah, you're absolutely just like fuck. Because like at least when you're leaving Vegas, if you know something's fucked on the 15, you could take a 95-mile detour down to Arizona and come up the 10.
Oh, okay.
Or it's
I was thinking going up the 134 and taking the because it routes me that way a lot, going up the 134 and then coming down the 14.
Yeah, I mean you can do that too. You can definitely do that too.
North route, yeah.
Yeah, like up to Palmdale and that.
Yeah. It takes me that way a lot.
I've definitely done that, but
that's a 1-lane highway most of fucking way. And then you're stuck behind a semi doing no miles an hour and you're like, good luck passing him because it's like you get a passing zone every like 200 miles. I don't know. That's
you just got to commit crimes.
Yeah. You got to commit crimes.
Just commit a couple crimes. It's
My car is also fast. So I'm like, fuck you guys. Last time I did it, I actually scared myself because I passed like 10 cars at once. But I had the time and my car is fast. And I was like, at first I was like, I'm just going to pass like 2 or 3 and I'm going to cut in here. And then I was like, I got the time. I'm just going to take everybody all at once. And I just took like 10 cars. I was like, and a little scared because I went so fast that when I hit the gas and I saw how many cars I had to pass, and my car is so powerful, it did that little like womp womp. And I was like, whoa, control the car. Don't pass everybody and blow it over here.
What are you driving these days?
Mercedes G-Wagon.
Oh, nice.
But it's the AMG. It's a V8. So it's fast, like it's got to get up and go. And it sometimes scares me.
Well worth it. Fuck yeah, that's fucking baller over here. Shit.
It is baller. I love it so much. Yeah.
That is someone's house in Wyoming on wheels.
I know. You know what's crazy is my mom's house in Kansas cost her $40,000 cash. And when she came out, because I got my boobs redone about 6 months ago, and she came out to like take care of me after my surgery, and she had to drive my car after my surgery. And she was so nervous. And she was like, this car is like worth like 6 of my houses. She's like, I'm so nervous. I was like, you'll be fine, Mom. I was like, the car basically drives itself. I mean, it won't let you hit anything. It will stop you before you do, before any injury. It physically stops the car. I'm like, it would be really hard pressed for you to wreck this vehicle.
Plus, it's so raised, it rolls over other things.
Yeah.
But also, your mom came out to take care of you after your boob job?
Yeah.
You definitely can't sacrifice her to get into Hollywood.
I know.
She's too, like, that's something you can't sacrifice her over.
She took care of me after my first set too. Yeah. And that's why when I got the second set, she was like, well, let me know. I'll come out and, take care of you. She's washing my hair for me, doing all those things.
Well, also, she's getting out of Kansas in the middle of winter. Like,
True. Yeah, she does not hate when I have to fly her out to LA.
She's like, did you have a mole removed? Do you need me to come take care of you?
Yeah.
I'll be out there.
I did fly her first class for that one. For the first time. Normally when I buy my family tickets, it's not first class because my dad hates first class. So he just not hates it. He feels like it's too bougie. He feels too country for it. So he's always like, please don't buy me first class. I feel very awkward. And what's funny.
He needs to drink more in first class.
No, what's funny is I'll set him in coach. I'll buy him a coach ticket and then he'll get to LA and we'll be drinking and he'll be like, okay, so I don't mind if on the way home you want to upgrade my ticket to first class. And I'm like, do you want to fly home first class, Dad? He's like, I mean, I wouldn't mind. And I'm like, okay, let's get you flying first class.
I'm sure I've expressed this on here before, but one of my greatest joys in life is looking like a scumbag in first class. Nothing brings me more joy than looking disheveled, metal t-shirt, combat boots, and getting my fucking pre-board drink as the cattle go back to coach. Nothing makes me happier in life.
I'm a lush in first class. I mean, I very much am like, I paid for free alcohol on this fucking plane and I'm going to drink it.
My record is, I believe, 4 drinks LAX to San Diego.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah,
that is impressive.
They cut off beverage service in 15 minutes after takeoff.
Yeah. But what is nice in first class is you get a drink before you take off. And they do not collect your glasses in first class until it's fucking wheels are out. They're like, do whatever you need to do. It's so nice.
Oh, yeah. And once you're in the air, there's
no rules. There's no rules in first class.
No, there isn't. I have been cut off in coach multiple times.
Oh,
in my
yeah.
life.
But you'll never be cut off in first class.
No.
Never, ever.
Never.
Yeah. They'll roll you out of the plane before they'll cut you off.
Yeah. I mean, I have been blotto in first class. A flight Atlanta to London, I went and puked on the plane.
Oh my God.
And they still serve me. I boot and rallied on the plane.
Yeah. I remember one time that's why I say I love sitting in first class because I love meeting the people. One time I sat next to a guy who had developed this tequila. I can't remember what the tequila was now. It's 5150 or something like that. But as we were chit-chatting, he's like, oh yeah, I own this tequila company and blah, blah, blah. And the waitress for whatever, maybe he's a frequent guy on this flight or this airline or whatever, but she was gushing over this guy, our flight attendant. So I mean, he's blah, 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 constantly getting us drinks. And I'm just trying to keep up with this guy. I mean, I was schmammered by the time I got off of that fucking plane. I just can't. But yeah, she just never stopped serving us. And I was like, this seems like a bad idea.
It's the best. It is the fucking best. And for no one who's ever, if you've never experienced it, international business class is just
it's the way to go. Yeah.
I feel so bad because I don't have status anymore. I was diamond with Delta at one point, and I don't have status anymore.
How do you not? How do you lose it?
So I got you have to earn it every year.
Oh, every year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And in from 2011 to 2014, I was traveling full time for my civvy job. So I flew 149,000 miles in 2014.
That seems like a lot.
It was.
Yeah.
I was in an airport 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh God.
Because it's flying for the civvy job, flying out for a roadie gig on weekends, flying back to the civvy job. I was all over the fucking place. But nothing but first class upgrades for free. When you're diamond, the only places you don't get a first class upgrade for free is flying out of Atlanta or LAX.
Because they're full flights.
Right.
Yeah.
But everywhere on Delta, anywhere else in the country, it's I'm going to be in first class.
Yeah.
And just drunk everywhere. I've had a couple really awesome single serving friends, and some of them are just weird. The problem being a single dude in first class, though, is there's almost never like, and you're never gonna get sat next to like an eligible woman. Like
Never next to me. That's not true. You'll get sat next to
okay, well, I have never been sat next to an eligible. The closest I got was an LAX to Vegas first class flight.
Mm-hmm.
And like me and this woman had a super deep, like existential conversation about life, death. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna maybe see if she wants to grab a drink when we get in. And she's gonna, oh, my boyfriend's picking me up. Like, motherfucker.
Yeah, that sucks.
But I mean, there was a lot of really cool people, like professional fucking skydiver, like
a professional skydiver?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like was on like the Red Bull sports team. And it's just
wow.
It's like, oh, well, this is a cool first, like, single serving friend.
Yeah. Single serving friend. I like that.
It's from Fight Club.
I love single serving friends. Like, just meet them that one day. You guys really connect. And then you're like, we're going to meet up again. And then never, ever do.
I mean, that skydiver are friends on Facebook. I don't think we've ever, like, maybe liked each other's posts once in a while, but, like.
There's a girl who texts me every, like, 6 months or so. And her name is Jen. Hi, Jen from Chicago. Don't remember meeting her, but she texts me all the time. And apparently whatever one night we had was a memorable one for her. But she was always like, hey, if you're going to be in Chicago, we're going to be doing this. And like, she's constantly inviting me to things. And I'm like, I don't remember this lady at all. But I made such an impression on her that she really thinks we were like really good friends.
That's just that Midwest, you know?
No, it's true. It's true.
Speaking of Chicago, you going to roll through for Exotica?
Is that where it is this year?
I mean, yeah, Exotica Chicago is like next week.
Oh, then no. I'm definitely not prepared for that at all. That's the thing is like with these, people don't understand these expos, there is so much that goes into it. Like having my posters to my things I'm going to sign to like getting my outfits for all these things, getting hotels and flights and arrangements, like all that is us. Like there is nobody doing any of that. Like every event I go to costs me thousands of dollars to attend, you know?
Well, wholeheartedly, I know. It's like, people are like, oh, why haven't you hit Exotica in a couple of years? Because it's like, no one's paying me to be there anymore.
Yeah. It cost me like 10 grand to go to AVN this past year.
Yeah.
It's
why I stopped doing them. Like,
yeah.
I only went in 23 because it was the first one in live in a couple of years. And like, I saw everyone was there on Wednesday. I had FOMO. I was just like,
I got there Thursday myself.
But. Yeah. I literally, well, because I was like, I'm not going. And then like, I saw everyone was there. Like, I got FOMO. I literally, I dropped a text like, media badge. All right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, so showed up, did my thing.
Yeah.
Once again, got like, some of the content was all right, but there was some regrettable content I didn't even fucking air from AVN 23. It was just like, I got sat with some dude who just treated it like it was a business to business fucking podcast. He was just promoting his adult board game.
Oh.
It was just like, it was so cringy. I called it after 15 minutes.
Oh God.
Like, this is not a 15-minute show normally unless you have to be somewhere. Like,
right.
It was just like, I'm Mr. Porn. Like, who gave you that title?
And who are you? What's your name?
Like, who gave you? Well,
has anyone ever heard of you?
I have an adult board game. I'm just
okay.
Like, I need to drink more, so much more for this. And after 15 minutes, I'm just like, hey man, I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning. I drove in. We just gotta wrap this up. Yeah. Needless to say, that episode never aired because it was just like,
oh, I have episodes I've never aired. Like. And what's funny is like, it's comedians that have come on my show and they're like, oh, let me come on your show, blah, blah, blah. And then we do a show and I'm like, you were the most boring guest I've ever fucking had. And I will never air that episode. Like, and I air a lot of episodes, but if it's bad enough that I'm like, like you have really, your career should be over at this point.
Have you ever had any ones that you didn't air where it's just like, it got too spicy and the guest was like, don't fucking air that, like, you're fucking angry about it?
No, not my own, but I will tell you, I personally was a guest on Andrew, oh my God, I'm about to blank on his last name.
Santino or?
No, New York comic, going really big right now. Oh my
Schultz?
God. Schultz, thank you. I was on Andrew Schultz's podcast. This is years and years and years and years ago. And probably the same time I met Jeff Leach around then in New York. And So anyway, I do his show and I was talking about another performer and I was talking about how much I loved her. Like we had just worked together. He was like, who's your favorite performer to work with? And I named this woman in particular. And I said like how much I liked her, how sexy she was, blah, 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 blah. And then the episode aired and like 2 weeks later, I get a text from her and she was like, hey, somebody told me you were talking about me on the Andrew Schultz podcast. And I was like, yeah. I was like, just how much I love you, blah, blah, blah. She was like, take down the podcast. Now, granted, there were some other things said that I didn't know she didn't want public.
Oh.
And so I obviously called Andrew and was like, hey, she's pissed. Like, can we take down blah, blah, blah. They edited and did whatever they needed to do. But yeah, it was like, it definitely was a backlash. And I was like, girl, I was just trying to say like how much I liked you. I didn't even know. The thing was, is I had said like, you would never believe, the exact words were, you would never believe she's a mother.
Oh.
She didn't tell people she had kids. And I didn't know that. I didn't know I was keeping a secret. I didn't know that I was letting a secret out. Like, because when I met her, she was very open about the fact that she had children. And I just meant it as a compliment of she's so sexy, you would never know she's had kids. That's the comment I made. And she was like, I don't talk about my kids and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Did not know. So yeah, it was a backlash. But yeah.
I mean, and that's understandable, but
Yeah.
and especially if you're not close and like
Right.
like if you're close with the person, I'm sure she's like, yo, I keep this on the DL.
Right. But I wish she would have said that to me when she said it, you know, like, hey, because also like I have no secrets from the world. I talk about everything in my life, the good, the bad, the ugly. I don't keep any secrets. So if you give me information, I think I can relay the information. If you would have said, I don't tell people about this, I would have never said that.
Right. You got to put that caveat. I tell people I date that shit too. Like,
right.
Unless you tell me like this cannot be talked about,
right.
It will be talked about on a fucking podcast.
110%. Yeah.
And when we break up, I may not keep your secrets anymore.
Right.
Depending on the situation.
Right. If you murdered somebody, I'm probably gonna.
Oh, if you have murdered somebody, I'm not going to jail for you. I have never.
Yeah, I'm not going to jail for anybody either.
Yeah, like, no one I've ever been involved with has been good enough for me to be like, yeah, I'll go to prison for you.
Yeah, absolutely not. No. Mm-mm.
No, and
I won't
almost
tell all your secrets.
right. Like, no. I mean, just understand that, like, when you date someone who's in the public eye and does this kind of shit, it's gonna get talked about.
Yeah. Recently, the guy that I had been seeing, I had said some stuff like on my podcast, like about him, didn't drop his name or anything like that, but just said like the guy I'm dating. And one night I was on my way and he had said like, oh, I don't love that you talk about our sex life. And I was like, well, no one knows it's like you know, like
Right.
that type of thing. But then one night we were going to a comedy show of mine and I said, I'm going to talk about our relationship. And he was like, I really wish you wouldn't. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, this ain't gonna work. It's like I talk about my life. And if you're gonna be in my life, you're gonna be talked about, you know? I'm not gonna name drop you and like give specific dates of times of, you know, what time you have to be at work and where you work and your address, but the guy I'm dating is going to be a topic.
Right.
You know?
You're not going to point him out from stage like, so there he is right there, front row.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
No one should get involved with a comedian. Expect them to not be part of the material.
That's what I'm saying. Especially like, first off, I'm 13 years older than him. That in itself is a whole fucking line of material.
Oh,
you know?
100%.
Like, I had so much to talk about. And he's like, I wish you wouldn't. And I'm like, well, you ruined my set. Because that's what I fucking wrote about.
So wait, he's 27?
He was, yeah.
Oh, you cradle robber.
I know.
I mean, I'm not one to judge, but good on you.
Well, and in my defense,
There's no need to defend it.
in my defense, he knew who I was when he met me, and he very much knew my age, and I had a problem with his age in the beginning, and he was like, "Just give me a chance. I'm an old soul." Blah 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 blah. So yeah,
And he wasn't.
he actually was. Yeah, there was just other things in the relationship I just wasn't in love with. So yeah.
These things happen.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a grown-ass woman. I know exactly what I want out of a relationship. And so I'm just like not willing to settle for anything less.
And nor should you. Like that's young people shit. Young people shit is like, oh, they're cute. Our genitals match well together. I'll put up with some bullshit.
Yeah. And it's weird because even in the breakup, he's being weird and childish. Like we met at the gym, we work out at the same gym. And today I saw him and he like didn't like, he saw me and like just like turned the other way. And so I texted him and I was like, hey, you don't have to like avoid me, just so you know, like at the gym. And I was like, I hope you have a good workout. Silence. And I'm like, okay, like we can be grown-ups and be in the same like place together,
Right. Like, it's not like you murdered his mother.
I definitely didn't.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, if for fame.
Oh, I mean, his mom obviously could go, she raised a bitch. Like,
can I pick somebody else's family for fame?
I really like his mom.
Yeah.
I miss his mom for the relationship more than anything.
Yeah.
Hollywood elite.
Hollywood elite. Remember that. Really loved his mom.
Well, I don't get that shit. Like, there's almost no one I've been involved with where I can't at least be civil in a public setting.
Oh, same. And I like, to me, I mean, we've talked about my ex that I haven't been with in 16 years, and I still speak to this man multiple times a year. I mean, I don't consider any of my exes to be enemies. If I got with you, there was something in you I appreciated and something I liked, and I saw a good person in you. And unless you've done me in some horrible way, then I'm still going to see that good person in you. And he didn't do me wrong in any horrible way. He's 27 and I'm 40 and we're just at different places in our fucking lives. And that's the end of the story.
Well, and he's insecure about being talked about on stage.
That too.
Like, that's a kind of a deal breaker.
Right. And so it's just like, but we can still be civil. I can still see you and say hi, ask how you're doing, like.
There are some people that like, I've dated that like, I want nothing to do with. Like, I'm not going to go on my way to like spend time. But like, if I see them, especially in industry events, I'm going to be like,
hi,
or just like,
yeah. Hi, we were acquaintances and lovers at one point. So hello.
My biological material's been inside you.
Right, exactly. Like, why are we acting like we don't know each other? This is fucking weird.
Yeah. But like, someone I was hooking up with a little while back, like, utterly apparently despises me.
Oh God.
And like, she is good friends with another former friend of mine.
Yeah.
Because she has beef, we can't be in the same place at the same time.
Aww.
Like, I've been uninvited to birthday parties and shit like that over that. It's just like, and I told her, my friend last time I saw her, I'm like, if I had known this would have been the outcome, I would have never fucked that girl.
Yeah.
Like, having a handful of orgasms with her was not worth like this drama.
Right. Yeah.
And all I did wrong with this girl was like, insinuate that she should pay her way at some points. And asked her.
What an ass.
I know. What an asshole. And asked her what her like post-performer plan was. Like,
right.
Like,
you have to have a game plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Yeah.
And it's not even like, are you going to get out of sex work or are you get out of the industry?
What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? Right. What are your future plans? All of those things. Rational thoughts.
Right. Like, hey, you and I have both been around a long time. How many people have you seen that were at the top of their fucking game at one point that very much are not in the industry?
Oh, absolutely.
Struggling to get by now because they had no plan.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So like, this is not coming from a place of like, oh, you're not hot enough, or like, it's literally like a concern. Like, so what are you planning? I know
you have a game plan.
Yeah. Like, she's also.
You could ask somebody that who's a fucking, whatever, doing any job, fucking sales job, fucking what is your long-term plan? That's a very decent question for a human.
Yeah. No, she was apparently very upset and offended by that question.
Okay.
It's like, I have a lot of experience in this shit. I'm not just spitting it out there for no good reason.
Right.
I'm not just trying to be like, oh, you're not hot enough to be Lisa Ann. But like, there's like 1% of 1% that fucking has a 20+ year career.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It is really hard to sustain a longevity career over here. I mean, just keeping fame for that long, let alone keeping your body intact, keeping your health intact. Like, since I turned 40, which was 1 month ago, I've had 3 injuries, one of which I'm still working through on my back. And that's from shooting because I was twisting at a weird angle and my body literally just couldn't take it. And I pulled something in my fucking back. Like, it's physical health because shooting is very physical and people don't realize like how much actual work goes into a scene, but it's a lot on your body,
Oh yeah, no, you guys are sex athletes.
Oh, 110%. I say we're professional athletes all the time. People always make fun of me, but I'm like, well, I use my body to make money and I do it for hours on end. You
Right.
know?
Like professional MMA fighters are only in there 15 to 25 minutes.
Yeah, I've got all the hours clocked.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Like your physical activity is much longer and sustained.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the field a hell of a lot longer than any NFL player. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. Was it an average NFL player play like 15 minutes?
Did you know that the actual I saw this thing. Okay, so it blew my mind. The actual amount of time that the ball is in play in an NFL game is like 11 minutes.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me, but that's factual. It's like crazy. It's like because between all of the stops and the calls and the moving the ball, but the actual in play time is like 11 minutes of a 3-hour game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
So much of it's fucking commercials
Yeah.
or fighting play. It's,
Yeah.
And like when you get into that level, like you are having sex so much longer than an NFL player's on the
Oh
field.
God, yeah. Sometimes they're 45 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's exhausting.
In uncomfortable but aesthetically pleasing positions.
Yes, yeah. And it's not like I'm like fully enjoying every moment of that 45 minutes. Like you're like thinking you're a home 45-minute sex and you're like, well, that sounds amazing. No, it's on this table. Hanging from metal chains in a position that is open to the camera, not for personal pleasure, and with someone I met 20 minutes ago.
And with some dude looking like me standing over you with a boom.
Yeah, exactly.
Really looking impatient, like, can
Yeah.
we get this fucking shot already?
Yeah, my arms hurt. How much longer do I have to hold my arms up here like this?
I legitimately fucked up my shoulder on a fucking set.
I don't know how the boom guys do it, if I'm being honest with you. Holding that fucking boom up for 20, 30 minutes at a time, I physically cannot imagine.
No, I legitimately jacked my left shoulder on a set holding the fucking boom.
God.
Because it's just like, we gotta get the shot. And I'm just like, fuck.
Sweating
fuck.
bullets.
Yeah, just like, fuck. And like, for a couple weeks afterwards, I couldn't lift my left arm.
Oh my
like,
God.
I'm pretty sure once again, I'm a stubborn, stupid dude, and this is why I'm going to die I can't die young anymore, but
Yeah, we're past that.
I'm going to die middle-aged because something's going to be wrong with me, and I'm not going to go see medical treatment about it because I never went to see a doctor about that shit.
I will say the past few weeks, because I pulled this thing in my back, it's like everything is attached, and so it's like pulling around something to my like chest. And like coughing and breathing deep hurt for like a good week. And it was like giving me some really sharp pains in like my heart. And I was like, I might be having a heart attack. I was like, like reading up on the signs of like what it could be. And it's like sharp pains in the heart. And I was like, I could go and like get it checked out, or I could just have a heart attack. And honestly, I vote just heart attack. Like, I mean, I love my life, but like, what am I truly living for at this point? And a heart attack should be quick, hopefully like, I mean, not painless, but like pain shortly,
Yeah, but what if you're like sitting there gasping for air as you die? Like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hope it's quick.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
every way I wish to go, hopefully it's fucking quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, the whole like rotting away.
Can't.
No, like my father died of fucking Alzheimer's, and like that is like the worst way to fucking go in my opinion.
Oh, that's the absolute. And I have it in my family. So do you, obviously. But
Yeah,
I just,
definitely it statistically comes from the mother's side, so I think I'm okay.
I mean, my great grandmother on my mother's side had dementia and Alzheimer's in the end, and it was fucking horrible to watch. I mean, just having no idea who any of us were and like regressing to her childhood memories and speaking as she were a child. And like, it was just really, really awful to watch. And I'm not going to lie, I notice it in my mom every once in a while when she's talking to me and she'll say some things and I'm like, oop, mama, you just said that, or like, like just little things. And I'm like, oh, I really, really, really fucking hope I'm not watching this happen in my mom, like,
It's absolutely terrifying. Like me and my father did not have a good relationship. I didn't actually interact with him while he had Alzheimer's,
okay.
but I did try to make sure he was in a good home.
Mm-hmm.
But the reports I was getting was like he thought he was at work because he was legitimately like he was in his 70s and he was in his home where everyone is significantly older than him, and he thought he was at work. Like he just like that's hell on earth. Like you don't know where you are and you think you're at work.
What a horrible place to be.
Yeah. He has never worked in a fucking retirement home in his life. Not in medical fields, but like just thought he was like,
Yeah.
wow, that is hellacious. Like,
Yeah.
and just the idea of like losing my mental faculties, like unintentionally.
The thought of not being able to take care of myself because I don't have children and I have no plan to ever marry. So like, I have 2 aunts that were single, never married, no kids. And I see them as like having these happy, healthy lives, but they also live together now in their older age, like they're sisters. So they live together. And I'm always like, well, I don't have a sister. Like, like, what do I do? Cause like I'm going to age the same way, never married, no kids. And they both still have their wits about them, but at least they're together. I'm like, I don't even like, what am I, just me and my cats or like,
Well, yeah. And then like, wait, we're just totally bringing down the tail end of this podcast. We're just death and getting older. But like that's something like I'm not having children. Like I had a vasectomy like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
like,
good for you. Love that.
Filmed it on YouTube.
I
If
love
you
a
want,
man with a vasectomy.
if you want to see it, I filmed it for YouTube.
Oh my God.
I did.
They let you do that?
It's from the chest up, so I'm just mugging to the camera while they're working.
Oh, you're awake.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm just taking nitrous oxide and like
Oh God.
commenting on what's going on.
Oh my God.
It's a little negotiation with the doctor, but
Do you feel it?
in the right testicle, I felt it a little bit.
Does it feel like a zapping or?
So like, I mean, you don't have
It's
balls.
like cauterizing, right?
Yeah, but you don't have balls,
Yeah.
so you've never felt the experience of being kicked in the balls.
No.
Like, so if you get a sharp whack in the balls, like you feel it in your guts, like in
Okay.
your like lower abdomen,
Okay.
and like, I guess I wasn't fully numbed on the right side, like fully, and like I felt it like in my lower abdomen.
Mm.
I'm like, I'm kind of feeling this in my lower abdomen. I was like, hold on one second, just and like
A little bit more.
yeah. Left side was painless, but like
Okay.
there's smoke coming off my balls at one point.
God.
I mean, they have a sheet up, so I can't actually see
You
what's.
couldn't see. Oh,
yeah.
okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But it was just like I'm just mugging to the camera and just hitting the nitrous oxide as much as I can. Like,
Oh, wait, you have like your own little thing to it?
yeah,
What? That's crazy.
I 100% captioned the video at one point. Like, am I doing pain management or just trying to get high here?
Yeah. No shit. Yeah.
And like I'm like you're supposed to just exhale because it has an exhale event in the. I'm like, oh yeah, I probably should be blowing that towards you, Doc.
Mm.
My bad.
Good plan. Yeah. He's like, surgery's going fucking great. You're gonna love your pussy when we're done.
I mean, I lost like 3 inches in the process, but and I did not have 3 inches to spare. But like, that kind of worries me too. Like, especially like with my father, with his end of life. Like, I wasn't in his life, but like, I at least because I wouldn't risk that on anyone, even though we had a shit relationship.
Yeah.
Tried to make sure he was in a good home. He was taken care of. It's just one of those things. Like, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Like,
Of course, yeah.
to be afraid alone and not know where you are. Like,
Can't imagine.
yeah, I wouldn't wish that. Him and I, like, I do not like the man. We had a really bad relationship. There's a reason I didn't speak to him for the last 7 years of his life.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't wish that on fucking anybody. And
You
like,
easily sold him for fame.
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, Hollywood, where were you then? That would have been a fucking done.
Dad.
Done. Unless this is how unless they're gonna come to me in a couple of years like, oh, you did sell him for fame. That's how he got the Alzheimer's. We had to make him suffer a little bit and make
Right?
give you some pathos.
Yeah.
But like, it was just like, if I wasn't in his life, he would have ended up as just like a ward of the state. Because that's what happened to first.
Terrifying.
He's back in Chicago, and I get a call from a social worker. They're like, so we have your father.
Oh, wow.
We're pretty sure he has Alzheimer's. He cannot live on his own anymore.
Wow.
And it's like, when I eventually get to that advanced stage, which, I mean, it's 30 years off, but you and I both know, like, as we get older, those years fucking fall.
Quick.
We were just talking about it earlier. You were on in 2018.
Crazy.
Like, that's almost 6 years ago.
That's
Not
crazy.
5. It's almost 6.
Crazy. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You were in double digits episodes of this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, as much as I'm like, oh, 30 years is a while from now. 30 years is going to come so fucking
It's like
fast.
2 years from now.
Yeah, it's going to come so fucking fast. And it's just like, well, there's no one who's going to, even fucking do that shit for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mhm.
a little terrifying. It's just like,
Mm.
oh, are they just gonna find me dead in my apartment one day?
I know. I think I'm just gonna be the crazy lady wandering the streets. That's what I think. Yeah.
I mean, still.
I mean, yeah. Just still gonna be the same lady.
Just eventually just been living out your G-Wagon.
Yeah, because I'm never selling it. That's for sure. I'm keeping it forever.
I mean, Mercedes are supposed to last a very long time.
Yeah, and they're not making the V8 and the G-Wagon anymore, and I have that. So multiple people, like car people, have been like, do not sell that car. It's going to be worth a lot of money. So, yeah.
If anything, it's get another car and like don't stop putting miles on it.
Yeah, I have thought about that too, but I love it so much.
Make it your Sunday driver or some shit.
Yeah, I have seen, because I don't like cars, but there's one car I saw driving recently that I like, and it's called the Karma. Have you seen Karma?
No.
I hadn't seen it till recently. Look it up. It's a really pretty car. It kind of looks like a Maserati, but I saw it driving down the 10 freeway the other day, and I was like, okay, I like that car. And if I were going to get a second vehicle, it might be that car.
Okay, that's pretty. That
It's
is a pretty
very
car.
pretty, yeah.
Their whole like website is like, at Karma, we're not simply manufacturing vehicles. We're crafting unforgettable experiences meant to create continuous awe for our drivers. That's their fucking like.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They already sold me. I just think they're pretty. It's very pretty driving down the highway.
Oh no, that looked like the car on their website looks very dope. Even the like the coupe with the 4 doors looks very fucking sporty, very
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm assuming this is another 6-figure car.
I don't know that 6 figures. I can't remember. I don't think I looked at the price.
Let's see. Where's the MSRP on these things?
It might be 6 figures. You might be right.
It's a $2,500 reservation.
Oh.
Or the other one is a $5,000 reservation.
Okay. Okay. So
These are
they're-
6-figure
yeah,
cars.
they're probably like 150-ish, I would.
Oh,
imagine.
and this one's a $10,000 reservation.
Wow. Wow. Maybe I won't be getting a Karma anytime soon.
Yeah. I understand the following item is a pre-order and not in-stock product. I agree to Karma's terms and service and understand this is a pre-order process. What if this is all just a scam?
Yeah,
There's like
just
2 of these.
Sending money into these people. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to spend just, here's 10K for me to be in line.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I would like to get on the electric G-Wagon list. They're not out yet, but there is a list to get them when they come out.
How soon are they supposed to come out?
Well, I heard 2024, but obviously it's not happening. So who knows? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're already a Mercedes owner, so they should
Yeah.
bump you up, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Trying to find out what the MSRP is on these things. Okay. So these things are going for 95 to 105K.
Okay. So yeah, just under, or just at 6.
Yeah, well, that's base. Come on.
Yeah.
They're not going to upsell you on some shit.
Right. Yeah.
You're walking out of there for 130.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
Too rich for my blood.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, I don't know if I could justify that even if I was like better off.
You can though, because I'm telling you, like when I bought the G-Wagon, my financial advisor at the time, I have a different one now, but my financial advisor at the time was like, yes. He was like, you need to do it. And the sooner you buy it, the better. So the more we can write off for the year. So, I mean, it does take like, because I mean, a write-off is basically like, I didn't spend this money. I spent it for my business, you know? So it's like less you have to pay on. And that's a significant amount to not have to pay on.
I know, but it's like a depreciating asset. And I always have gear to buy.
I know. Yeah. But a G-Wagon in itself, resale value, still very high. They are very hard to get.
True.
Still.
True.
So, yeah.
Speaking of Mercedes, this random just side quest here.
Yeah.
A couple of years back, I had a friend who was working for some Chinese nationals exporting the wagons that are below the G-Wagon. I forgot what model they are, but like they have the pano roof. You had to get them with the pano roof.
I don't know.
But basically what they would do is if you would go in there into a dealership and make the deal for it, anything you could talk down off MSRP plus 2,500 for each one you got, they would pay it to you. Like,
Really?
yeah. So apparently Mercedes dealerships were on this shit and were fucking like flagging people for do the resale because Mercedes can't sell in China at the time. So these things I would buy it like with cash,
Mm-hmm.
and then turn around, sign the title off to whoever in China.
Mm-hmm.
They'd kick me my kickback, and then it would end up on a cargo ship to China and be resold for 2 to 3 times like the MSRP.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just like, I could do this side hustle.
Yeah, that's a great hustle. Yeah.
Yeah. The Mercedes dealership in Beverly Hills like clocked me a mile away. It was tried to sell it to me for over MSRP, which is actually illegal.
Interesting.
Like you cannot sell in I don't know if it's California or nationally, but you cannot sell a car for more than its advertised price.
Interesting. Okay.
You can sell it over MSRP, but if you have it advertised on a website or something, you can't sell it for more. It's illegal to. And he's like, I'll sell it to you today cash for this much. I'm like, over? No.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He just clocked me.
Yeah.
I didn't look well-to-do enough to,
Yeah, but you know what? Like a lot of well-to-do people don't dress it, like.
I made the mistake of like rolling in there like in a button-down shirt and shit. Like, so it's like, oh, he's trying to pretend. If I had just rolled in like metal t-shirt, and I probably would have been better off.
Yeah, honestly though, yeah, because they're like, oh, this guy has so much money, he didn't give a fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
First guy's like, oh, he's in a collared shirt, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
Hindsight 2020.
Always is.
Yeah, it's just like it's wild. Some of the like fucking hustles and scams out there. It's just
I know. Gotta be so careful, especially here. Well, everywhere, but
yeah, especially LA because like so many people are like one misstep away from being homeless.
Well, that's what I was saying. Everybody's trying to like really, really hustle, and they don't even give a shit if it's like a good hustle or a ridiculous hustle. They will just hustle your ass.
Yeah, gotta make ends meet.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Crazy. I'm not illegally hustling, but still hustling, So.
Any weird side hustles going on?
I mean, not at the moment. Yeah.
Not selling cosmetics out of the back of the G-Wagon?
No, not at the moment. Yeah, just snacks for the homeless. Yeah. Not selling, giving. Sounded bad.
But writing it off on our taxes is charitable donation.
You know what's crazy though is I don't write off charitable donations, and I probably should, but
what kind of financial advisors not tell you to write off your charitable donations?
I know, but for me personally, and I know this sounds really stupid, but I just feel like it's a charitable thing and I shouldn't be making a return on being a nice person. I do feel that way. Like even when I go and donate at Goodwill or whatever, and they're like, oh, do you want a receipt? And I'm like, no, I just want to give my stuff to people. I don't want a tax break for being a nice person.
Yeah, but Goodwill's going to go ahead and mark it up. So
I know. I just feel bad. I know.
So silly.
I know.
It's not like you're taking it from hungry people's mouths by getting that tax write-off.
I know.
You're taking it from the federal government.
No, you're right.
It's like maybe you pay for slightly less than a quarter of a bomb.
Yeah. No, you're right. I should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes me feel like a bad person. I'm like, yeah, I'm here to donate and get my tax write-off. I don't know. It just feels weird.
Yeah, it feels weird not to.
I don't know. I've never done it.
Well, have you done your taxes this year?
Yeah.
There's always next year then.
Yeah, always next year. Yeah. I know, but the food thing is like, I'm a big snack girl because I don't cook. So I always have a ton of snacks in my cabinets, and I'm really OCD organized. So if I have too many snacks that don't fit in my organization piles, I put them in an extra box and I put them in my car to hand out to the homeless because they don't fit in my cabinets. So, and I don't feel like that's like a tax write-off. I'm just like, oh, it's too much for me. So
you just start a charity, a Silvia Saige, the nonprofit.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, and nonprofits are just such a tax scam.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you can draw a salary running a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So you can still draw a salary as long as the company itself doesn't draw a profit.
Yeah.
It's all fucking
it's true.
Like,
I have friends who work for nonprofits. It's crazy. I'm like, you make money? Yeah. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's just careful book balancing.
Yeah, really.
It's like, oh yeah, no, I draw a salary. I draw a decent salary.
Yeah.
You just gotta spend it.
Yeah.
Honestly, all businesses should work on a model like that. It's just like, no, you gotta reinvest that shit.
I gotta start a religion so I don't have to pay taxes. That's where I need to go.
You haven't already? You
No.
already have men worshiping
I
you.
know, I should. It should be like a Silvia Saige worship hour. I have looked into it. I have looked into what it takes to be a church, and it's really not a lot.
Oh, I know.
But you do have to do a sermon once a week. Like you have to give you have to have some sort of like place where people can like come and listen to a sermon at least once a week. So I could do like an online sermon once a week and
Just
like,
pre-record it. Do the
Yeah.
same sermon over.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the rules that says it has to be a new sermon.
that's true.
Just record one sermon and just
Play it every
play it.
Sunday.
Play it on your OF.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's
So-
not a lot. It's not a lot to start a religion.
Well, I'm just saying, like, do it on your OF.
Yeah.
So people have to pay the subscription fee to fucking.
Be a part of my religion.
Yeah.
And a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Fabulous idea. Yeah.
And they're just like, it's the same sermon every Sunday.
Yeah. Get the message, people.
Like, you don't even have to actually be there for it. Like, you just set up your OBS with the pre-recording, hit play, and just go about enjoying your coffee and your Sunday morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I could do it, honestly. I really could.
Fuck it, I'm doing that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if you look up the like requirements to start a religion online, it's like 10 requirements. It's super simple.
Oh no, I mean, John Oliver for Last Week Tonight a couple years back did started the Church of the Perpetual. It was the Church of the Perpetual Deduction or some shit. Like they exploited that loophole in the tax code, like for all the HBO audience. Like it's just like,
yeah, it's crazy. It's true.
In my personal experience, like the religious people are often the most fucking corrupt.
Oh, 110%. Yeah.
Like when I was a PI, every time I fucking investigated someone who was religious, they were the most fraudulent motherfuckers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, doing the most fucked up shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I can repent to God, so it's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, no, you're robbing people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Especially those like churches are like, oh, well, if you donate the church, God will bring it back to you tenfold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, he's bringing it back to you tenfold, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're preying off poor motherfuckers who can't afford this shit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, telling them that gluttony is bad while they live in their $10 million mansions and travel on private planes. But gluttony is bad and it's the root of all evil. But yeah, as long as you're doing it for Jesus, it's the same. Yeah. All good.
I honestly feel like churches should be taxed.
110%. Yeah. 110% churches should be taxed. There's no reason. I mean, it's not fucking the 1800s. What are we doing?
Well, and I mean, our Constitution specifically says there's a separation of church and state.
Yeah.
Why does the church get, any religion get special treatment of to not pay their fucking taxes when they're generating so much fucking...
So much revenue.
And the Catholic Church is like one of the largest landowners in the world. Think of how much fucking property taxes just... Think of how many homeless people can be fed if those people paid fucking taxes.
And if the churches were really doing what they say they would do, like they would be helping these homeless people anyway, and like really going out of their way to like house these people and like right the wrongs that are in society. But they're not doing that. They're just pointing the finger and telling you who is wrong in society and not doing anything about it.
Spoilers, us.
Yeah, it's us.
It's us.
We're the scapegoats. Yeah, absolutely. We're the consenting adults having sex with other consenting adults who are ruining your world. Yeah.
Trying to entertain you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot to warn you before we got on air, but if you're not aware, a lot of people come on Instagram just to troll because of the nature of the content. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't value their opinions. So
yeah, I block a lot of them, but sometimes I just like let them be in the comments and then I just let my followers like take care of them in the comment section. Yeah.
So I don't block anyone.
Oh, you don't?
It's all engagement. It's all engagement.
Well, I block them if they start saying like, ridiculous things. And I'm like, okay, we don't need this here. Bye-bye.
Unless it's like racial,
yeah.
I let it fly. Like if you're going to be horophobic, not transphobic, but like horophobic or, start preaching that like God hates you because of, go ahead. No one, you're not going to convince anyone who's actually a fan of the show.
Right.
You are just pissing in the wind and driving engagement to the channel. Have at.
Yeah.
Have fucking at.
Yeah. I had some commenters the other day that were going amongst themselves back and forth talking about like, how what I do is so evil and blah, blah, blah. And then one of the guys was like, I make it my goal to like put down girls who do porn and OnlyFans. And I'm like, okay, bro, like what are you actually telling me? So you follow a bunch of porn and only girls online, and then you go and like comment negative shit all day trying to get attention from one of them, because that's all I'm hearing. Like, you're not doing anything. You're not changing anybody's opinion by going underneath our things and commenting and telling us that like we're going to hell. Like, okay.
Shortly after he comes, he feels guilty.
Right, exactly. Like, take your fucking dick out of your hand and get the fuck off my page. Like, get out of here.
It's like, if you thought about this logically, man, you are helping performers much more than you're hurting them.
Yeah.
Because the algorithm doesn't care if it's a positive or negative content.
Yeah. It's a comment.
It's a comment. They're like, oh, more people are interacting with this. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks for the clicks.
Right?
Yeah.
Love you for it.
Yeah.
I tell them thank you for supporting the show all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get hateful shit on the podcast page too?
Very rarely. Yeah. Mostly it's positive interactions there. Yeah.
Well, it must be nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice to run a podcast where you just have a supportive fan base.
Yeah. Well, I'm teaching them things there too. So,
This isn't educational. We talked about afterlife, end of life planning here tonight.
100%. Yeah.
We're all going to die in our apartments and they're going to find us days afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just an earthquake. I just want crushed, something easy. Yeah.
I think I'm just going to start picking more fights with gangbangers and hope they have good shots.
There you go. Yeah. To the back. I don't want to see the bullet coming. I don't want to know.
Yeah. I mean, if it's quick enough, it's fine.
I guess. Bullets are fast.
They are. They're very quick.
Yeah.
Just heaven forbid, the one problem with bullets is sometimes they do weird shit. Like sometimes they ricochet off your skull and
then you survive.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck that.
And then I'm drooling on myself.
Or being burned alive and like living through a burn. Absolutely not. Oh my God, just kill me.
When everyone's like, oh, I would never take my own life. It's like, there's there's an asterisk there. Like
there is
90-degree burns and like constantly in agony. Yeah, I might think about
I'll never recognize myself again. I'll never not be in pain again. Like, no, I think not. I'm out.
Or people just like recoiling in disgust when they look at you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm never going to even experience human touch again unless it's someone I'm paying to do it.
Yeah.
And boy, at that point, I'm assuming it's going to be really expensive.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh.
I wonder if there's people that specialize in escorting for, people that, are burn victims and shit like that.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. But I mean, there has to be.
There has to be.
Yeah.
There's some,
there's a niche for everything.
There's some super kind-hearted soul who's really desensitized.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I take care of the burn victims.
Yeah, she goes into the burn victim unit at the hospital. She was like, by the way, you'll never fuck anyone again but me if you want to.
Right. And she's like, I charge a mad premium. She's like American healthcare costs.
Yeah. Yeah, very kind.
Yeah. Just doing the Lord's work.
Exactly.
Doing the Lord's work. I honestly had never thought about that until this very second.
Yeah.
But there's someone who probably out there who's just like, oh, bring in all your burnt and deformed.
She's like the Jesus, but of sex.
The Jesus of sex workers.
Bring me your poor and your disabled. I'll fuck them.
I will fuck your lepers.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
I'm not sure I want to be on the list that happens if I Google that. But she has to exist, right?
I think she does. She does.
If she doesn't, there's a niche market out
there.
There's
a market. Somebody go find it.
You would be bringing such comfort. Instead of fucking, wealthy douchebags, you could be really making a change in someone's
joy to someone's life.
Who really needs it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's such a ridiculous so I just imagine someone a skin tight dress rolling through the burn ward, just dropping business cards, when you get out.
Hit me up.
Right? So fucking ridiculous. But I don't even know where I was going with that.
It's a niche for everything,
Yeah.
folks.
Oh, what a
Everything, yeah.
100%. But yeah, on like on the dark end of it, like, yeah, like if I had like horribly disfigured, like constantly in pain, I'd think about it. Like, I'm not sure I would go the Hunter S. Thompson route where like he's like, I got terminal cancer, bang.
But I would go the assisted death route, which is like it's not legal in the US yet, but it is legal in a lot of other countries.
Did you hear about the 28-year-old girl in the Netherlands who's like going to euthanize herself?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
What-
I think that's great. Honestly, if you have some sort of cancer to where you know that like your level of life is going to be so low and you are going to be in so much pain, like I don't see a point in fighting through it. I've said for a long time if I got cancer, I don't know if I would fight it myself.
Well, statistically, most doctors don't.
Yeah.
Like, most doctors that get terminal cancer don't just forego treatment and just like
Yeah.
quietly go into the night because they know firsthand what goes into.
Does.
Yeah. But that girl in the Netherlands doesn't have cancer. She's just mentally ill.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she just has severe depression and BPD, and just is like, the doctors told me my depression's never going to get any better, so I'm going to check out.
Yikes.
So it's like,
I didn't realize it was depression.
oh yeah, it's purely mental illness.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So it's like, on one hand,
I
I'm
feel like you could recover from that.
but they told her she couldn't. That it'll never get any better. Like
That's weird. That would have to be like a very certain like type of case because I feel like, I mean, I've suffered with depression my whole life as well, but I feel like there's definitely steps you can do to like get yourself out of that dark place.
Oh, I agree. Unfortunately, that's what happens to reasonably intelligent people. They get
Right.
depressed.
Yeah. Yo, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a direct correlation between intelligence and depression. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Because you see what is actually happening around you and you don't live in just idiotic bliss.
right. I pray for it some days. I
Yeah.
pray for it. I'm of two minds. It's like, on one hand, it's like 28. Like, I've had some dark moments in my life, and like to be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna check out at 28. Like, but on the other hand, it's like, if she's determined to go, nothing's gonna stop her from leaving.
Yeah.
So she might as well do it like,
An easy way.
yeah, an easy way that's like prepared for her partner. She's not gonna like, someone's not gonna come home to a fucking mess, or like at time of recording, like fucking 4 days ago, like one of my old coworkers in Chicago jumped off a fucking bridge.
Oh God.
He's 45 years old, jumped off a fucking bridge,
Oh God. That's tough.
and it's just like, unfortunately, like I don't know what was going on with that dude. Like I hadn't spoken to him in years, but like
Yeah.
one of my other coworkers like texted me like, it's like, holy fuck, dude.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah. And like, I'm sure it would be much easier for his family to deal with if like this was a planned, easy, quietly go into the night instead of, oh, he jumped off the bridge off the side of a highway.
Yeah. And you can talk about it with your loved ones and like warn them. And it's not like, yeah, like I mean, yeah, my uncle had to find my cousin, after she had committed suicide. And it's like, that's a lot. That's a lot on the person who has to find you, that they don't know what's coming. And at least this way, everybody is prepared. Like, I get it.
Well, and there's a lot of fucking guilt involved when like
Yeah.
a loved one tries or succeeds. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
oh shit, I should have seen this
I
coming.
should have seen it. I should have helped. I should have done something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reality of the situation is, if someone wants to go, they're gonna
They're
go.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. They are in a hopeless place.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't beat yourself up over it. But so like, I'm really of two minds about like someone who's 28 being like, yep, I'm gonna let them euthanize me.
Yeah. That's a lot. 28's hard, and for something like that, it seems very recoverable. But yeah.
I mean, yeah. We made this mad dark.
I know. I know. I didn't even mean to.
No. It's like, oh, we're just gonna have some fun and have some drinks. So euthanizing yourself.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's.
And end on suicide. We love it.
Yeah, no. Mad dark. And demonetization right there. YouTube's like, nope. We are not giving you a dime for this shit.
Yeah. YouTube hasn't paid me for an episode in a while. They're like, we can't promote your content. I'm like, I get it.
Once we're off air, I'll give you a little trick that I have.
Oh, okay.
I have off air.
Yeah. Because almost every episode I put up, they're like, yeah, we're not going to pay you for this. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah. A lot of my episodes, like, they'll initially pay me, and then 90 days later, they're like, Oh, we made a mistake.
Oh, shit.
But I'll tell you how I get around, how I make
Okay.
it that 90 days.
Okay.
So at least there's some revenue that comes in.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a dark world sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, unfortunately, like in the two worlds we live in, both comedy and adult, like
Yeah, tumultuous,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
generally, like people don't get into comedy like when they're generally well-adjusted human beings.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, or into porn.
At least some people like as a child they're like, I want to be a comedian when I grew up.
Yeah.
Except for like the brand new generation, because I've had a couple people on that are like in their 20s. They're like, oh yeah, no, I thought about doing this in high school.
Yeah.
But like
yeah.
people our generation, like
Never.
nobody, this
Yeah.
wasn't the plan.
Well, absolutely not. Like, I mean, we all were told to like go to college, become doctors and lawyers and, scientists. So
Yep.
like, a dream of doing something in the arts was always like, well, you're not going to make any money in the arts.
Well, especially in the Midwest. Like
Yeah.
the Midwest mentality is like, nobody makes up money in the arts.
Yeah. Yeah. Get a job at Ford,
Like, my grandparents were willing to pay for college as long as I was willing to go to trade school.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like literally in the Midwest, like getting any trade job or anything was like the ideal job to have.
Well, I mean, I would have, if I was working in the family business, would have been fourth generation working in air conditioning.
Yep, exactly.
And my grandparents were just like, you don't have to get into the family business and we'll pay for college as long as you go to trade school. I'm like, but I don't want to go to trade school.
Yeah.
And at the time I was, working armed security and making almost 6 figures a year at that point. I'm like, I mean, this doesn't seem like a good plan for me to like try to balance school and my fucking job already.
Yeah.
Pass, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah. Thank you, though.
Thank you for your, performative fucking offer.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were your parents trying to encourage you to be?
I don't think my parents ever encouraged me to be anything, if I'm being honest. They encouraged my brother to be a lot of things, but my brother was like super talented and really smart. I don't think they encouraged me to be anything. I think my mom encouraged me to maybe model. Like I was modeling from the time I was like 8 because, my looks. But no, I don't think they encouraged me to be anything. I don't think they thought I would be anything. I think I was like just like an after effect to my very talented brother who they thought would be the shining star of our family. So yeah, I don't think they had any aspirations. I think they were just hoping I survived.
What'd your brother end up doing? Okay, no. That answer says it all.
Yeah. I love my brother, but he's not.
He didn't live up to expectations.
He didn't live up to expectations. Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
He had too much pressure. And he and I talk about it very often is he's the ideal peaked in high school, and it was because of the amount of pressure that my mom did put on him that he was the shining star. He, everyone kind of thought he would be the end all be all to our family's fame because he was so good at everything. And then here I am holding up the tail end of the fame bargain, not the fame they wanted, but here we are.
Right? Right? Like, very fucking famous.
One of my kids is going to be in the limelight, not for a reason I want, but they'll be there.
Wow.
You see me now, Mom? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, assuming she's come out for both breast jobs, she's seen your tits.
She has. Yeah. Still as much as she doesn't love what I do, she still supports and loves me. So
Which is a lot more than a lot of people can ask.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel very happy and very blessed to have the family I have. That's for sure. Yeah. And I'm not getting rid of any of them for fame because no one's offered.
I mean, the brother sounds like he might be an easy one to exchange.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He's already peaked. Like,
yeah, he's already had his moment.
You're doing him a solid, taking him out quick, hopefully.
Yeah.
Just doing him a favor.
Yeah.
Your best days are behind you, man.
Yeah. Try again next time.
Legitimately, do you believe in reincarnation?
Yeah, 110%. Yeah, I definitely do. I think I also, I read this a long time ago, and I don't know if it's true at all, but I did hear that Pisces are on their last lives because it's the last cycle. So once you've like gone through all of your lives and you like now get to go and live in the infinite universe. And I think I've done that. I think I've lived all my lives. I think I've learned all my lessons. And I think as a Pisces, this is my last life here. And I'm pretty excited to not be here anymore.
What a way to bring it down. So
not that I like want to end my life, but also at the end of
But
the
earthquake.
day, I've had a great life and it could end and I'd be okay. Just know I lived it well. So
I mean, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
None of us are making it out of here alive.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it boggles my mind when people are just like, oh yeah, well, I'll do that in 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years ain't promised.
Yeah, true.
Like, I thought 5-year plans were bullshit before COVID.
Yeah.
And there's a couple million people that probably had 5-year plans
Yeah.
that aren't here for it.
Yeah.
Like, fucking get in debt. Live your fucking life. Like,
Yeah.
make the risky choice sometimes.
So true. So true.
We're going to call last call on this motherfucker.
Okay.
Silvia,
Yes.
it's always a pleasure. We got to do this more than every 5 years.
I know. I can't believe it's been that long. That's crazy to me.
I know. And I was going to give you shit about how this came about. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's not. Let's skip that.
where can they find you on the thing?
You can find me on Instagram at the Silvia Saige, on Twitter, Silvia Saige XXX, OnlyFans, Silvia Saige XXX, and OnlyFans TV. Sexy Funny Raw, my podcast, which is also on YouTube and all streaming networks.
Hell yeah. It's educational.
It is. It is.
Unlike this, which is not. Until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.